The Art of Rhyming, episode 34. Just because you rhyme doesn't make you an artist. You know how we do. We got a special guest today, Vega7 The Ronin. Talk about the epitome of the art of rhyming. I'm going to invite dude on the line right now. There he is. Let me try and get him on the live. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. Zilly 900, how's your night? Maze Overlay, hello, hello. Peace, Vega.
My brother, salute, bro. How's everything,
Salute.
man?
Good, man.
Honor,
Just,
man.
I'm the honored one, man. Thank you. Thanks for
Salute.
jumping on, bro. How was your day?
Uh, um, productive.
Yeah?
Productive, man. Very busy. Trying to piece together some things for
Yeah.
upcoming in the next couple of months. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crunch time right now. So very
Awesome.
productive. What about you, man?
I say the same thing. Long days at work, family. This pretty much every Tuesday, every other Tuesday, I have an interview, man, and kind of in a routine, but I can't complain. I'm doing better than most. You know what I'm saying? So
Good, brother. Good.
yeah, man. So look, man. I wanted to start by saying, I'm honored to have you as a guest. The skill level that you're at, like let's be realistic. You got the underground, all eyes on you.
Mm,
You got legends looking at what you're doing, looking at your pen. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like,
mm.
to me, you're in the 99th percentile of like talent. I know it's a long road, but bro, where you're already an anomaly in my books. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
I
love.
wanted to start with that, bro.
Thank you,
So
brother. Yeah. Yes, sir.
yeah, man. So I always like to start with like how I heard about you. You know,
Mm,
when COVID, middle of COVID, I started rhyming again. I started getting back into the music. I'm a bit behind on the underground scene, but I've been catching up doing these interviews over the last year. So
mm.
how you got on my radar? You know Jay Roberts, right? You're familiar with him
Course.
from
That's
Toronto?
That's my guy. Yeah, man. Shamrocks and machine guns, man. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Th-
Yeah, salute
There,
to Jay Roberts, man.
there you go. So I obviously I'd heard your name before, but I heard that collab track on his project, fucking
hmm
amazing.
hmm
And then from there I just started hearing your name more often, man. So yeah.
Right.
Um and when I really started looking at your music, it was the track You Darvish, man. When I
Mm.
got to that track, bro, like I have this thing where if I hear something dope, I'll like
Mm.
loop the track
Nah,
like 50 times in a
yeah,
row. Do you
yeah.
ever do
Yeah,
that?
hell yeah, of course. What you mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
yo, there's times where I find a track and it's like, that's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, very familiar with that, man. Hell yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say this, like, I'm not super vain. It's usually not my shit. It's
Right.
usually not my records that I do that with. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
and that, and that probably stems from just working on them for so long and through the creation process of just being like you so familiar with it that like by the time it hits DSPs for the rest of the public, you probably kind of already absorbed it so much. But yeah, usually it's other people's shit that I'm like, damn, this is fire. I'm bumping that shit for like days. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. When I heard these bars, you're like, you can't force a Morgan horse to drink at the water source. I go Robert Horry off in the
The
fourth
fourth
quarter. I can't
quarter,
afford a
I
loss.
can't, son. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Big freak, me and your shorty talking
Yeah, the
sheets of water
water
sports.
sports.
My
My
advice.
advice,
Go
stay and
ahead,
give her all support. Now, I don't support divorce. That's more your problem.
bro. That
Yeah.
was crazy,
Salute.
man. Like
Appreciate you.
just that segment, man. So
Mm.
so yeah. I want to give a shout out to Lord Owen or Lord Owen because I think he's the one that put in a good word for me. Is that true? Is that how this came
Yeah.
together?
Yeah, man. That's my brother, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my brother from another mother, man. So yeah, just yeah, he told me I was already familiar, you know what I'm saying, with your
Oh yeah.
platform, but he had hit me up and was like, yo, man, yeah, he wants to do the interview, he wants to sit down and speak with you, man. And
Yeah.
I remember you said you was like, yeah, man, I want to do the interview with Vega. And he was like, shit, good luck, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really do a whole lot of interviews,
Yeah.
so you know, and I remember you was like, damn, really? Like you said, I forgot what you said to him, like how you replied, but it was kind of
Right.
just like, damn, it's like, you know, so nah, salute. Yeah, he definitely, you know, if you want to use that, yeah, he definitely put in a good word for sure, man. But once I seen your platform and I seen the work he was doing, man, I was just like, I like what this guy's doing on the scene. You know what I'm
Thanks,
saying?
man.
He's doing good work, man, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, and about Lord Owen, man, like we've been following each other for a bit. You know what I mean? I didn't really check out his music, but just the other
Mm,
day, like I was digging up your stuff on YouTube,
mm,
and I saw him on Sway like years ago.
mm,
Killed
mm.
it, bro. He's nasty, man.
What,
So
bro?
yeah,
That's yo, son. Yo,
yeah,
man is a genius, bro. Like, yo, like
right,
this. There's so much other shit that he does that he's just so adept at. That y'all going here, y'all gonna see, y'all. I know there might be some people that's like, man, you know, how they so tight, or like,
yeah,
you know, what's their chemistry like, you know, lyrically and musically, and y'all will see why. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure.
yeah.
Big on my brother.
So, Vega really wanted to know, what I was about, what my motives are. Obviously, things clicked and we set up this interview. And while we are talking in the DMs, I thought, I'd send them a clip of me rapping just to show, I could put some words together.
Yes, sir. I
And
was gonna bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause I was gonna bring that up for sure. Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
he rated it a solid 8 out of 10, man. And like I put the
Mm-hmm.
pen down, I was like, I'm okay with that because I know what level you're at, man. Respectfully, man.
Hey
So
man,
I
that
was
shit.
okay with that.
I'm not gonna hold you, man. Y'all, when I was listening to that shit, I was holding my breath, like, please don't be trash, man.
Yeah,
Please, cause I gotta
yeah,
tell this man my honest opinion. So
yeah.
yeah, when I heard it, and it was like I held my breath, and then I heard the first couple bars, and I was like, thank you,
It was a
like, thank
relief.
God, that shit. Yeah, but nah, yeah, you was killing it, bro, for sure. Yes, sir. Like I
Thank
think
you, thank you.
I was talking about your motifs and your structure.
Yeah,
I'm big on structure and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I kind of heard how, you know, some of the technical aspects of your verse and delivery, I was like, okay, he know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? He know what
he's
he
put
doing.
some time in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe he
He know,
can run a platform called the Art of Rhyming. Maybe.
you know what I'm saying? He definitely know a little bit about the science, man. He had some Bunsen
Yeah,
burners going and shit, and some flask and mix a couple chemicals and shit. He been in the lab a couple times. He got set
yeah,
to action.
yeah,
Yeah, for
bud.
sure. Mm,
So, so what I like about your music, bud, like your writing and wordplay, it's so far in its own
mm,
lane that, like, to me, the dopest MCs are almost speaking their own language.
mm,
You know what
mm,
I
mm.
mean? They got their own
Preach.
vocabulary and their own way of doing things, and
Mm,
that's what you represent to me. It's really the craftsmanship of your bars, man. Like I listen to your music,
mm,
but like I hone in on your bars, your patterns, and like even though I stopped writing and rhyming myself, I still
mm,
got that ear where I like see like all these color coded syllables and stuff. So I'm most impressed with your actual bars above everything else, to be
mm.
honest with you.
Appreciate,
So yeah.
appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Been writing a long time, man. Long
So
damn time, brother. Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
we're definitely gonna get into that. I got a whole segment on your writing process, so if you're cool
Can't
with
wait,
that,
man. Yes, sir. Of course.
dope,
Of
dope,
course.
man.
I'm here to talk about
So
what you want to talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing off limits, man. So you take this wherever you want to go, you know?
awesome, man. Thank you, man. So the meaning behind your name, I thought I'd look up what a Ronin is. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
I'm going to read you the first definition that popped up. It
mm,
said, in feudal Japan, a Ronin was a warrior, a samurai without a master, who traveled the country offering his service to anyone in need of a sword to hire. But unlike the lonesome cowboy or gunman in Western movies, the Ronin in Japanese culture has always had a tragic dimension, a failure. That's the first
Damn, nigga, this
definition.
Merriam-Webster, all this shit. That
Yeah,
was like 5 sentences of shit.
yeah,
Nigga.
man.
That was like a short story or some shit. Like, all right, yeah, salute. Nigga said
So I thought,
Ronin noun and then put like 6 fucking sentences of shit. That's fire, man. Yeah, salute. I ain't know that.
so I thought I'd ask you what makes you embody the name Vega 7 The Ronin. What does it stand for?
I mean, well, you know, like many others, man, like I went through like various names just coming up, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't really mean anything to me. They were just names that I was like, oh, that's kind of dope or that's kind of fire, you know. And then I was talking about this the other day, funny enough. Like I was laying in my bed and I remember looking up at the ceiling and I don't know, I just had a moment, man. I had an epiphany where I was just like, bro, the name I had at the time was Fire, but I was like, bro, I need to come up with something that like means something to me, something of some importance, rather
Right.
than just being like, oh, it sounds dope. You know what I'm saying? So I remember just laying in my bed, man, for like hours. You know what I'm saying? Just staring at the ceiling and contemplating. And
Yeah.
I knew so like Vega was a part of the name of my old name,
Right.
so Vega meant something to me just in the sense of, there's a whole backstory to that with why I chose that name. It's Street Fighter based, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I'm sure I mentioned it before, that part of it. It's definitely has something to do with Vega from Street Fighter, but me and my brothers, man, we used to play Capcom vs SNK2, like I'm talking every day
Nice.
for like 2 years or some shit, like every
Right.
day religiously. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so there was a day that came where when we were playing, and mind you, we were all kind of like, equally skilled in a way. Like, on any given Sunday, anybody could bust anybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But um, so one day, for whatever reason, I just couldn't lose. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't lose.
Right.
I
With
picked
Vega?
Vega
With
with
Vega?
Vega.
Wow. That
So
takes skill.
yeah, so if anybody remember, you know what I'm saying, Capcom vs SNK2 was like a 3-on-3 joint. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it was like you pick three characters and yeah. So
Yeah.
my team would switch up, but I think at that time I had like Vega, I was running with like Cammy, I was running with like Sagat and shit like that. So
Mm.
yo, this day, I just couldn't lose, man. Like I had won like 26, 27 matches in a
Wow.
row. And my boy got mad, you know what I'm saying? And my boy, like, he got up and like unplugged the cord out the back of the system and was on some like, yo, bro, if you pick Vega again, I'm not playing. Like on
Wow.
some like, yo, you cheating. And
Yeah.
and then I was just so from that moment, I went and looked into facts. My fault. I seen this little comment. He said Vega was always the flyest on Street Fighter. That's a fact, man. But yeah, so the reason I picked the Vega thing was that event combined with reading into his backstory and seeing kind of like that, damn, this dude got the most interesting backstory out of all of these characters. A lot of these other characters, like for instance with Ryu, it's just cliche shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be the best fighter and I live
Right.
for the fight and all this other shit, corny
Mm-hmm.
cliche shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I looked up Vega, I'm like, so wait, time out, man. This dude turned into a fucking serial killer, and like his first kill was like him murdering his stepfather because his stepfather
Wow.
used to like abuse his moms and shit like
I
that.
don't
And then
remember this, man.
yeah, nigga, yo, I think a little bit of this shit is like in the booklet, like
Right.
the old SNES video game the
Right.
instruction manuals and shit.
Yeah.
But it don't go into the whole lore and all that shit. But like
Yeah.
basically, like when I looked up his backstory, I was just like, damn, this is fucking crazy. Like, when I just became intrigued, you know what I'm saying, with him as a character. And then combine that with the fact that I was like, damn, I feel like Vega is like overpowered. Like when I use him, I feel like it's just like I'm invincible. Like I can't lose.
Right.
So that kind of made me gravitates towards choosing that name. You know what I'm saying? Then the 7 came later on, like that same day where I'm talking about I'm looking up at the ceiling, I'm fucking contemplating life and death and all this shit or whatever. So
Yeah.
that came that day when I was like, 7 is a powerful number, you know what I'm saying? So um I was just, you see this number occur so often throughout nature, and I'm like, damn, all right. So I think it started with like Vega the Ronin or something like that. And then I was like, yeah, that's fire. But then I was like, I need something to make it a bit more unique and a bit more like when you hear the name, you're
Yeah.
gonna be like, the fuck?
Mystical.
Yeah,
Something like that. Right.
like what the
Yeah.
fuck is the meaning of that shit? So like, yeah, son.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, all right, Vega 7, and then when I said Vega 7, I was like, all right, and I said it multiple times, and it felt like me, you know what I'm saying? That's the best way I
Yeah.
could put it. The Ronin thing actually comes into play with I've always been a fan of like uh Japanese culture growing up, like feudal Japan,
Right.
Edo period Japan and shit like that. The whole samurai, geishas and pagodas and shit like that. So I kind of like fell in love with just this foreign culture. You know what I mean? That I was like, damn, it's the whole other side of the world during the time period long before I was born. And I used to do martial arts when I was a kid. I
Okay.
used to do a lot of martial
I
arts.
assume so.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
have assumed so.
yeah. So I used to do mixed martial arts growing up. And in my teen years, my sensei passed away. And after he passed away, like I stopped. You know what I mean? I never really went back because I kind of just felt like this is the man who taught me my whole life. What am I supposed to just like pick up a new fucking master and just like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like this chemistry that you can't just go and find from another sensei.
Right.
It became less about learning this or practicing this art and discipline, and more so about the connection. You know what I'm saying? That I had formed with that man was like a father to me in a lot of
Right.
ways. So ever since his death, I just kind of like, I never went back. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you look up the definition, it's like Ronin. Well, I'm sure if you
Yeah.
looking up your definition, if you look 12 more sentences down, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You'll probably see it. This shit.
Right.
But like, nah. So it's a samurai without a master. You know what I'm saying? A lone
Yeah.
samurai. So like, in a lot of ways, it's like in real life, I'm a fucking Ronin, because it's like, yo, my master died long ago and I never took on another master. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
so.
that Ronin name meant a lot to me. It wasn't just some weeaboo nerd shit where it was just like, I fucking love Japanese, even though I do, you know what I'm saying? I love anime and shit like that. But
Yeah.
that name really means something to me. You know what I'm saying? Something to my identity and my upbringing. So once I combined all those fucking names,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is it. Sorry to get that 15-minute response, but
No,
yeah,
no,
like
that's what
that's
we're here for, man. People want to know. Your fans want to know,
for
man.
sure.
So yeah, I don't want to get too off topic, but are you an
Mm.
MMA fan? Are you still a fan of MMA, or
You,
not really?
yeah, you know what's crazy? I am, but I don't catch it as often. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with basketball. Like, I'm a big fan, but it's like I don't watch nearly as much as I used to. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yo, like Old be putting me on to a lot of
Yeah,
shit. Lord
yeah,
Owen. Like he be
yeah,
putting me on to like, yo, man, this dude right here. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? He's like, yo, he's like he's a wrestler and he's like, ain't nobody fucking with him. And I'm like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
check this
yeah.
dude out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I've been a fan since UFC one. I saw the first one like
Damn.
live on satellite,
Holy
bro.
shit.
But I dipped during the
Salute.
GSP era, and then I started watching again hardcore for like the last 3 4 years. But I gave it up. You know why? To do this platform, because I don't have time to do
Yeah,
both, man. So
brother.
I
See,
was a big fan of that shit, bro.
that's a
Yeah,
big
man.
thing too. It's just like, man, exactly. You're working. It's just like
Yeah,
I can't. I got to choose one. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So, but I'm
yeah,
sure
man.
you probably like catch it whenever you got free time or something like that,
I
maybe, or
I
which
haven't
which
in
I'm sure is
months.
hard to come by nowadays. Free time.
Yeah,
That's a
I mean,
commodity that's rare.
I haven't in months, but I definitely will. It's one of my pleasures in life to watch
So,
bloodshed. You know what I mean? But like masterfully. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
my man
yeah,
say
man.
I love mass murder and violence, man. It's a
Not
hobby of
mass
mine,
murder,
bro.
but yeah, skillful. You know
Nah,
what
for
I'm
sure,
saying?
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So, but so interestingly, Jockeying the Divine, I've interviewed him and Javi Darko. I'm
Right.
gonna
Hold on one
get
second.
into this.
Yeah.
By the way,
Okay.
there. So he has a song called Seven Ronin from his 2021
Oh,
Delusions of Grandeur
I'm
album.
familiar, man. I'm
Yeah,
familiar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
and I know he's.
Oh no,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, my fault. You continue, bro. I
Yeah.
speak out.
So know I know he's in the samurai into samurai culture as well, and you guys
Mm-hmm,
collabed. So I just thought it was
mm-hmm.
interesting that he had a track called Seven Ronin. That's actually one of my favorite tunes of yours. How did you guys connect?
Oh, so real quick,
Yeah.
yo, I thought the same shit when I seen it. Because I was introduced to Jock King around when yeah, his he had dropped Delusions of Grandeur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a couple months old, maybe at that point in time or whatever. Like, well, maybe not even that old. But I remember when I seen the Seven Ronin track, and I was just like, bro, this is a hell of a coincidence. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I know they say nothing ain't nothing coincidence, but I was just like, that's crazy that he has a track called Seven Ronin, and later on we end up linking up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, crazy as fuck. So, shout out to that album too, man. That album is fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's definitely One of my favorites from Jock King, man. I know he had the Parables of the Sower. He had dropped a joint with Javi Darko, the fan loading on Long Island. But yeah, and the Operation Sun Tzu joint. Shout out to all those shits. But nah, Delusion of Grandeur was the shit, man. Yo, you wasn't fucking with the Flute of the Victor? It was a
You
song
know
called
what?
Flute of the Victor on there.
You know
That was my shit too.
what? He had a lot of material to go through, and because I was interviewing him and Javi, I went through all their material
Right,
on
right,
Spotify,
right.
but I couldn't remember all those tunes. But I
Yeah,
thought Fear and Loathing was like an amazing
for sure.
culmination of like their skill sets at their apex. Man, that
Yeah.
album was incredible for
Salute to
me
111 too,
personally.
man. With Javi,
Oh
man.
yeah, that was
My
a
fault.
masterpiece.
What?
It
Yeah,
wasn't
man. Look, man.
engineered well, and there's a story behind it, but
I'm
it's a
sure.
damn
There always
masterpiece.
is. There always
Yeah,
is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but
man.
oh no, my fault. To your question, talking about how did we link up, right? Me
Yeah.
and Ja King, right? Okay, so me and Ja King, we were a part of something that I'm sure you probably gonna talk about later, which is the tournament with Mickey
Oh,
Fax.
he was in that tournament. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
He was in that joint. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that's how I became familiar with him. Was after the tournament. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who he was during the tournament. I didn't know
Right.
who like any of these people was during the tournament really like that. But after the tournament, I don't remember who hit who or who contacted who first, but we exchanged a series of DMs and we was chopping it up around that time. That's around the time I was working with Machacha, obviously on the debut for Let Line Wall. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just made sense due to the talks that we were having and just the camaraderie and shit like that. Like it just made sense. And I was like, yo, let me put him on the debut album. Let me put him on the track. You know what I'm saying? And I respect his style. And I remember I heard like I said, Delusions of Grandeur, and I was like, damn, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's that track, man. It's called Water Style for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because when I heard the beat, out of all of the tracks on Lead Line Wall, when I heard that beat in particular, I was like, damn, I could hear Ja King floating on this. BPM and tempo wise, I felt like it was perfect for his bag. You know what I'm saying? And the reason it's called Water Style is because like the at the speed at which I'm rapping and like the pockets of which I'm hitting, it's kind of carrying off of Ja King's style in a way. It's almost like a complimenting his style in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
And it was about, water style is about being fluid. You know what I'm saying? And being able to adapt. So I call the track Water Style because I'm like, yo, bro, like I want to show people that like I can hop in these multiple bags and multiple pockets and kind of like, kind of borrow elements from this style real quick and put my own kind of flip and my own spin on it while complimenting him at the same time. So
De-
yeah,
Definitely one of my favorite
oh,
tracks.
for
I wanted
sure.
to ask you. We're gonna get into Bars Up. I have a whole segment planned for that. But
Can't wait,
I'm
brother.
curious, how far did his style? Like, how far did he go in that tournament? Because I
Mhm.
caught like different parts of it, but not the whole thing, man.
Yo,
How
man.
far did he get?
Salute to Ja King, man. Yo, he made it far, man. I'm gonna be honest. So during that tournament, it was maybe only three people that were on my radar early on that I was like kind of keeping my eye on. That I was like, all right, they could be a little deadly or they might be a little dangerous, like further down the road.
Yeah.
And and Ja King took out one of them. And
Right.
so, so, so I remember now actually. That
Right.
sparked my memory. So like him taking out that dude made me DM him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And go like,
Gotcha.
bruh. And it's funny because I like even now, you know what I'm saying? I'm very much like when I was doing that tournament, I was doing research, man. And I said this before where it's like, y'all always send my horses out to do scout work to go check other kingdoms because I want to know what they up
Right.
to.
Right.
So I'll send spies and be like, yo, I heard they making this new damn siege weapon. I gotta see, is it
L-
true? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
like a
like
true Ronin. You
of
sound like a true
course, you know what I'm
Ronin,
saying?
bro.
Of course. I'm the motherfucker up in the tree and shit with the fucking binoculars and shit with the ghillie suit leaves on and you can't
Right.
see, but I can see you like, yeah, very much so, man. But yeah, like I was doing research on a lot of the contestants that were in the tournament because I wanted to know, yo, what am I up against? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's the competition like?
Yeah.
So I say that to say Ja King didn't even know who the dude was. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't even like it's almost like you take out a Titan and it's like, but you don't even know
Yeah.
that you did in a way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so when I DM'd him, I actually thanked him, man, and was like, yo, man, like at first I said, like, yo, I don't even know if you know who son was that you just took out in the tournament.
Who was
And
it?
then it was this dude named Pyro Tracks. You know
Got
what I'm
it.
saying? And he actually the reason that he was on my radar was yeah, he was talented, of course, obviously, but he was an actual battle rapper. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Right.
he had battled. There's this joint called Verbal Warzone. Hey, yo, real quick, shout out. I'm a pause. Want to say real quick, but yo, shout out to everybody in the chat right now,
Yeah,
man,
man.
going off, man. I appreciate y'all for real pulling up, man, and
Thanks,
supporting me,
Sim. Cook
supporting.
Grits.
Yes, sir. Supporting all the rhyming, man. So yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Um, I was gonna say, that dude, yeah, he was talented, obviously, you know what I'm saying, but it was also the fact, like I said, that he battled, and there's this league called Verbal Warzone that he was on, and he had battled this dude named Cash Bills. That was another dude that was in the tournament who I was kind of like had my eye on, like, yo, I might have to worry about this dude later on. And Cash Bills went up against Mickey Fax. There's an
Right.
episode there's an episode on Verbal Warzone where, and Verbal Warzone is basically battle rapping, and they be playing the beats.
Right.
So you got to rap over the beat. It's not acapella like you know what I'm saying, traditional battles and shit. So
Right.
they're rapping over beats. So Cash Bills went up against Mickey Fax, who was hosting the damn tournament.
That's crazy,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. So
That's
naturally,
weird.
yeah. So naturally, I'm gonna be like, you know, looking at this dude like, all right, man, I'm gonna have to, you know, get one of these motherfuckers out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and shout out to them, man, incredible MCs. But with Pyro Tracks, when he went up against Ja King, son, he was in a car. I remember this vividly too. He was in the car and he seemed like he was kind of preoccupied, like he had just come back from running errands or some
Right.
shit like that. They was trying to get him up multiple times and they couldn't get to him or whatever. They finally got him on and Ja King's like Ja King's whole setup, he was in his room, kind of like how I am right now, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so dude pulled up and he was in the car. So he had to rap while, and mind you, he's like rapping. He's like, yo, I something this. I pull it, and he's busting turns and shit. He's like looking at
Right.
traffic
Right.
lights. So,
That's
and
crazy.
that's not to discredit Ja King's win, but that's just to say like dude just he got unlucky kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he was in a shitty situation and Ja King capitalized, you know what I'm saying, and spit a crazy verse and got him out of here. And I remember, like I said, hitting up Ja King and being like, thank you, brother. Like, thank you for eliminating one of the biggest threats in the tournament and basically doing the dirty work for me
Right.
and getting him up out of here. So I
All
appreciate
right.
it. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, go ahead.
now I was say
No, no, go
my
ahead. Go
fault.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
yeah, bro. So that was my first interaction with Ja King, was thanking him for, you know, being dropping the executioner's axe on this other dude that I was like, damn, you know, he might be a problem. So Ja King did me a hell of a favor, man. But that's the first time I fucking
We're definitely going to circle back on the
for
bars that
sure, for sure,
challenge. Sounds like you made a lot of connections from there. We'll get
for
into
sure.
that. I just want to say about Jaw King. I want to shout him out, him and Javi Darko. I didn't know what to think of his generation, like in terms of how they're carrying the torch for hip hop. But after I
Mm-hmm.
found out about them too, and I went to their catalogs and I peeped Fear and Loathing in Long Island, which was like my third most played album last year. I only listened to the
Woo!
guests I interview.
For
That shit
sure.
was a work of art, and it renewed my
Mm-hmm.
faith in where hip hop is going in terms of expression, covering
Mm-hmm.
deep subject matter, just the intricacy of the wordplay and the liveness. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a work of art. So I just want to shout them
Oh
out
yeah, they
while we're here.
yeah,
So
they out. I was gonna say this real quick. Yo, they out there though. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of young, especially like now that I kind of, you know, dip my toes in the game and all that, so to speak.
yeah,
I'm coming across more and more cats that's nice, and I'm like, how old are you? And he's like, yo, I'm 22. I'm 22. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So they out there. You just gotta dig. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of the youngins. They doing, you know, different aspects of the art, you know, drill shit and other things like other shit that's a little more trendy nowadays, you know what I'm saying, less niche.
yeah,
But they out there, man. Like they got some young spitters that's carrying the torch, as you put it, you know what I'm saying, and doing justice to this area of hip hop for sure.
And the thing is, they're not just like rehashing it; they're bringing their own flavor to it on top of that,
Absolutely,
which is super
absolutely,
respectable, right?
absolutely. Yes, sir.
So
Beautiful.
I thought you're from Jamaica, Queens, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Family is predominantly Jamaican, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So yeah, a lot of. I mean, anybody that knows anything about the boroughs in New York, period, man. But especially that area of Queens, it's called Jamaica for a reason. There's a lot of Jamaicans. It's predominantly Caribbean. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Caribbean background. So yeah, man, Jamaica, Queens.
Is
So
that like going
salute.
back to the '70s when the migration started, or
Uh,
like how far back does that trend?
Shit, pardon me, man, because I don't really know the history like that. But yes, I will say during the '70s, because before that, I think around like the '60s and '50s, it's predominantly Jewish. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And I'm from a hood called Lawton. Shout out to Lawton, man.
right,
718-114-3. But yeah, Lawton was predominantly Jewish, man. And then like during the '70s, a lot of them had moved further out eastern towards Long Island. You
right.
know what I'm saying? To towards like Nassau County and Suffolk County, and that's when a large Caribbean population started moving in. So yeah, for sure. I think you're right. Yeah, '70s.
Dope. I like knowing the history. And did you always live there, or did you move around?
So shit, I was born in the city. I was born in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? New York, New York.
Right.
My mom's was doing accounting for a hospital. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, I was born in Manhattan. My fault. I had a funny ass thought just then. But yeah. So yeah, my mom. I had a funny thought. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say the hospital. And he's like, word, that's the hospital. Yo, look up, like, oh shit, we found his birth
Is it a good
certificate.
one?
It's this motherfucker right here. In fact, nah. But nah, so my mom's did accounting, you know what I'm saying, for the hospital that I was born at basically. So from there, I had moved to like shit. The earliest memories I have, I actually lived in like Amityville, man, when I was like
Mm.
3,
Right.
4. I mean, everybody know the whole like Amityville horror and all
Yeah.
that shit. Like, yeah, that's basically
That's in Long
that.
Island.
Yeah, that's in
I'm
Long
I'm from
Island.
Toronto, man. So, but yeah, that's Long
Yo,
Island,
man,
right?
son, I got family in Toronto, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got family in Mississauga, son. So,
Dope,
yeah,
dope.
for sure. Yeah. But so yeah, I lived in Amityville for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Then I lived around Konkoma for a little bit, which is those are both Suffolk County. So those are both far Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Getting further away from Queens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then around the age of 5 is when I moved to Lawton. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So yeah, basically since I was like 5 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I lived in
Got it.
Lawton.
Are you still there? I'm guessing you're in. For some reason, I'm guessing you're in Atlanta or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Are you still there?
I'm Atlanta based now. You know what I'm saying? I'm down here in Atlanta. I moved down here like not too long ago. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But yeah, like my brother still lived there, man. Books, you know what I'm saying? Books music, Books 229. Like, yeah, he still lives there, you know what I'm saying, on his old block and everything.
Right. Right.
My other brother MTS, he's from there too. I knew all these names that you hear in Books and MTS that
They're
you
on your
hear
last
often.
album.
Right, those are my brothers, bro. Those are my
Right.
brothers from the mud. I knew them since I was like 5 years old. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Went to school with them and all that. So, and shout out to Tills too. Tills, I haven't known Tills that long, but I know him through MTS, and he's basically like a brother at MTS. So that's my brother as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's from Virginia.
Got it.
So yeah,
Got it. So look, I watched the Abyss podcast. You had a recent interview. Shout out to the Abyss
shout out
podcast. I
to
watched
Biffy.
all 3 hours.
Ah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit
yeah.
briefed me. That was a good time. It was a great
Yes, sir. Yes,
episode.
sir. Mhm.
So what I caught there is that when you first started listening to hip hop, the shit you heard or were listening to was like Hot Boys or like country grammar,
Oh yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like maybe
Hell yeah.
is
So
that right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to live in Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying, with my dad when I was like 12. And yeah, man, what was it? I was like 12, man. There wasn't
Right.
no like I wasn't listening to Nas and Redman and shit. I
Yeah.
wasn't listening none of that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, what I was and like I said, I got into hip hop late. I got into hip hop when I was like 14, 15. I know a lot of cats on this scene, they'll tell you like, yo, man, my earliest memories, when I
Yeah.
was 4 years old and I was bumping Illmatic. It's like, I ain't know shit about no Illmatic at
Yeah.
4 years old, bro. Like I said, my family is predominantly Jamaican, so I grew up listening to like fucking Burning Spear, Beres
Right.
Hammond, Buju Banton. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like listening to cats like that. So it's like I didn't get into hip hop. Mind you, also I didn't have any older brothers, so I didn't have the fucking money making Mitch fucking older brother to be like, hey, yo, son, yo, bump this to Cal and
Yeah.
shit in your fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And your speaker system and shit. So I had to discover that shit on my own. And remember when I mentioned like I got family in Mississauga, that's when I really kind of discovered rap. When I spent the
See.
summer up there
See.
when I was like a teenager.
That's funny because here in Toronto, or just outside of Toronto, I grew up in a Russian Jewish area.
Mm,
Right, wasn't very hip hop at all,
I'm
but
sure it wasn't.
I got my first mixtape when I was like 7.
Fire.
Roxanne
Where
Shante, Cool Mo
you
D.
got it from? How'd you
My
stumble
my
across it?
older cousin who lived in an apartment below me,
Uh,
he actually managed his friends like a rap group, and then
mm,
he had all the cassettes, all the vinyl. And I used to come down to his apartment and like everything was there. Big Daddy Kane, Salt and Pepper, like all that shit. And that's
fire.
how I got introduced to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But it
That's
wasn't a
fire.
very hip hop environment at all. But the hip hop was always heavy in my head. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So yeah,
For sure.
yeah. But
Yeah.
so so with that said, I'm always interested to know like how someone shifts from like getting their introduction on like country grammar to getting into like sampled like lyrical boom
Mm-hmm.
bap. Like how does that
Mm-hmm.
happen, man? It happens a lot, but you know what? It fascinates me. I'm kind of old school, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
how does that happen?
Oh, yo, my God, Penny, son, yo, shout out my boy Biggs, man, yo, salute, brother, my fault. Um, shit, man, my fault to keep, what I'm saying, interrupting the interview, man. But I
No worries,
appreciate
man.
everybody pulling up, man. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't been live on
Absolutely.
in a minute. I pulled up on live for you, brother, man. Salute. And yo, just thankful everybody
You want to
showing
shout
love.
everyone out? We got
Oh,
This Is
hell yeah.
True
Matter of
Beats,
fact, yeah, let's
Pony like
yeah, shout
1 cent.
out. Okay, hold on. Shout out. Oh, my boy Zillion here. Outlaw Owen the head, Natty Daddy here, Cook Grits, Josh Shades, Dead Harbor. Oh shit, okay. Cash flowing here, Designer Drugs, Passport Rad, what up? My boy Jamal, what's good, son? See about wealth. That's family right there. Surge in here, that's fam. My boy Biggs in here,
There
Penny
we
like
go.
1 cent, 88
There
Spence.
we go.
Girls PP when they see me. Yo, that name is fire, son. Girls PP when they see me, son.
TP.
Navajos creep me
Yeah,
in they
yeah,
teepee, son.
yeah.
Yo, Sharia 609. If I mispronounce your name, my fault. My brother, Just D Scott, and this is True Beats, man. Yeah, shout out everybody in here right now, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
man.
Um, so my introduction, right? Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So like I said, when I was 12, I was living in Baton Rouge. So that was bro, if you it was a sin to bump anything but like, Project Pat
right.
or Hot Boys or some shit
That's the
like
shit
that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
never listened to,
Yeah,
bro. I saw it on
yeah,
TV,
yeah. I
but I
feel you,
never
brother. Yeah.
divulged. But go ahead.
Yo, that's the days of the box. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember the box. Oh,
yeah.
I don't even know if they had it in Canada, but yeah, it
They
was like the
did, they
box.
did,
Oh,
they
they
did.
did?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fire.
yeah.
I never
Legal
knew that.
box, absolutely.
I
Yeah,
never knew that. So yeah, son. So um yeah, that's the days they had the box, man, and you call up and shit, be like, yo, I want this video, and you vote for the shit or whatever. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So yeah, those were the days when it's a DC5. Yeah, those are the days where yeah, if you wasn't listening to 3 6 Mafia or you wasn't listening to some shit like that, it was like, man, get that shit up out of
Yeah,
here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
I
yeah,
did have the 3 6 Mafia CD. My brother was more into that kind of vibe. So
yeah, 3 6
yeah,
Mafia go
yeah,
hard. But yeah, son, like
yeah,
shout out Project
yeah,
Pat, man. But yeah, so after leaving there, right? Because I stayed down there for a year. I went to seventh grade down there. You know what I'm saying? Addis. I was in
yeah.
Addis, Louisiana, man, and I was near Bruley and all that. So after coming back up here, the reason I came back up here is because like, yo, my dad was, you know what I'm saying? The saying Papa was a Rolling Stone and all that. My dad was a
Yeah.
nomad, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
My
right,
dad,
right,
my dad was very nomadic. He was into a lot of different things, man. Some legal, some illegal, you know what I'm saying? Just various
right.
ventures, So like my mom's was like,
Too
bring
much.
your ass back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so, and I think my dad after that, he had bounced and went to like Jamaica, like the country. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
I just had to go, you know, and obviously at the time when I'm being 12, I don't understand, man. I'm just like, man, I want to chill with you though. You know what I'm saying? And my
Yeah.
dad's like, yo, you can't, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come back up here. And when I came back up here, that's when I was still listening to that. Mind you, I wasn't really listening to rap at that time. I was like 13.
Right.
So I was still and I said this too. When I came back up here, I told my moms, I was like, hey yo, I'm gonna need that Juvenile 400 Degrees album, man. I'm gonna need that Lil
Right.
Wayne, the block. That's when the
Yeah.
block is hot album
Yeah.
dropped. You know what I'm saying? So that's when this record store called FYE or whatever had still existed around this time. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my mom's took me there in the city, and I got both of them joints, bro. You know how fucking hyped I was, man, to come
Right.
home and I had 400 Degrees by Juvenile and the block is hot by Wayne. I was like, oh, it's lit. Went home, threw them in my CD player. I'm like, oh, this is peak rap.
Right.
This is his highest rap.
Right. Right.
Like
Right. Right.
in my mind, I'm like, bro, like ain't nobody rapping better than this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So
it's good music,
good
man, and like
music for
there's
sure,
talent
man.
behind it, but you
Of
know, not to
course,
discredit, but yeah,
of course, and every region got their
yeah,
voice. You know what I'm saying? And every region
yeah,
has the way they do things stylistically. It just so happens that the East Coast and up north traditionally we a bit more technical. You know what I'm saying on the scientific aspect.
precise, yeah,
Exactly. Fast forwarding a little bit, man. Yeah, FYE baby, yes sir, man. But so yeah, fast forwarding a little bit. I had when I was like 14 that's when I had found out about like battle rap forums and shit like that. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I actually found out about the battle rap forums through blackplanet.com. This is back when like Black Planet was like the thing, motherfucker. That shit was like MySpace
right,
back in the days, you know what I'm saying? And I remember being on Black Planet and they had a section in there called bragging rights.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And this bragging rights section was where it was supposed to be like a little message board where people could just pop shit and talk shit
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
but people was using it for like raps. So like this was back, you know what I'm saying? Pardon me one second. So this yeah, battle rap on Black Planet, son. I swear to God, I cannot make this shit up, son. So this bragging rights thing, man, this was a section where people, like I said, used to write raps, and it was we would call it key styling. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So that was
yeah,
you familiar, brother.
yeah,
So
yeah,
right. So with the key styling thing, yo, they laughing because I brought up Black Planet, son. They like they talking, they reminiscing about Black Planet right now in the comments. Yo, but yeah, son. So um the joint was crazy because like as I'm watching this, it was like a board that would like kind of like the newest shit would pop up at the top and then you'd
yeah,
see in real time like the newest one pop up above that or whatever and the shit get pushed. So like when I seen this, I was like, damn, they in there rapping. This shit is crazy. Like, and this was just coming off of listening to It Was Written.
right.
Yo, that was the first like full length rap album that I ever listened to front to back. And when I listened to it, I was like, yo, bro, son, like, I want to know how to do this. Like, yo, I didn't know who Nas was prior to that. That
Yo, oh, go ahead, sorry.
you good, brother. I was gonna say I didn't know who Nas was prior to that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
That's wild.
yes, I did. Yes, I did. Sorry, I did. But the only thing that I heard from Nas prior to that was the shit that he had with R. Kelly called and it was an R. Kelly song actually. It was like Did You Ever Think? And then Nas
Yeah,
was on the remix, and
that,
I used to bump the hell out of that joint, son. Like when I was like 11 or some shit like that.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? 10. So I knew who Nas was before, but I didn't really know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew, but I didn't really know.
B-
Um,
because I watched the Biz podcast, I know like, you told the story that you first heard Nas when you were in Toronto or
right, exactly,
Mississauga.
exactly. Yeah.
That's
And I
why
was
that's
like,
wild to me because to me, like when I first heard Nas, It Was Written was my first Nas album. I got it when it came out,
right.
bro. It painted a picture of what New York was like
I'm
before I ever
telling
went
you.
to New York.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
So how did it hit you when you heard it? Were you like, oh, this is what New York is like, or like obviously you're from New York, but like how did it hit you in retrospect? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, that's why I definitely gravitated towards Nas's projects, man, because they it's I call it journalist rap. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it was almost like a fucking reporter. You know what I'm saying? Like live on the scene on some Connie Chung shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And just like reporting on like what's going on in their
Yeah.
environment. It's very much like that, kind of staring out the project window and just describing everything you see going on, below you, So I gravitated towards that because I was like, damn, this is like painting with, with the mouth. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But it's like painting a picture
Yeah.
verbally, you know,
Yeah.
and it's that style is one of those where you can just close your eyes, man, and just like you can see all of this shit.
And,
Your whatever you see will be different from what I see, but it's like you can picture something. You
so
know what I'm
so
saying? For sure.
this is a funny question, but it's kind of fascinating to me. As a New Yorker, when you heard that, obviously
Mm.
later, did it feel like an accurate depiction of New York to you?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like, and once again, that's why I gravitated towards it because I was just like, how the fuck is he able to do this? Like,
Yeah.
how is he able to describe like, you know, an environment that I'm very familiar with, and he's able to like, and he making it rhyme?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to be like, what do you see around you?
Yeah.
And you just like, I see fucking drug dealers and I see fucking prostitutes and there's crack vials on the ground and somebody got shot
Yeah.
the other day and this nigga got locked up and all this. But you making it rhyme
Yeah.
and in an intricate way? Like, how the fuck is you able to? It's almost like English language sorcery or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I gravitated towards it, and I think every true MC makes that decision. It's an instant thing, bro. It's an instant thing where it's like the first shit that you hear, or even if you don't completely 100% know at that point in time, there's something in your brain that says like, "Yo, I want to do this. I want to
Yeah.
do this. I want to be
The,
involved with this now." Like, you know,
in retrospect, It Was Written was the most influential on me in terms of like impacting my writing for years to come because
absolutely.
I
Mine too.
wasn't where Nas is from. I don't have his background.
Right,
I don't have his experience, but I always aspired like, how can I write something as sophisticated and like compelling? And like I would spend years trying to figure out just how to approach that. You
right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right,
And
right.
then come up with my own style. But yeah, go. So I might have cut you off, but
Oh, nah, you good, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, shit, it's your platform, man.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be
yeah,
here,
man,
bro.
yeah,
So,
man.
so yeah, with the Nas thing, I had made it up in my mind then and there that I was like, oh shit, look, I don't know how, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna pursue this. You know what I'm saying? And that shit became this you know when you're young, man, you got tunnel vision, man. At that point in time, it's like some Ash Ketchum Pokemon shit where it's like, bro, I want to be the best trainer in the fucking in the world. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's like I don't care about nothing else, bro. I didn't give a damn about nothing. This shit consumed my life to where it was like, bro, like I'm not gonna stop until I can rap like that. Until I can rap like that, until I feel like I'm closer to what this man is doing. Yeah, that was my
How
goal at the time.
how close do you feel you are to that? I mean, your style's different,
Right.
but like,
From a
how far do you think you've come at this
shit,
point?
man, from a technical standpoint, just as far as just, the
Because
manipulation. Yeah, my
yeah,
fault.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Just as far as how well I'm able to like my lyrical dexterity and how well I am to or how good I am at manipulating the English language to my will. Um, shit, man. I think we come from different schools, but we come from similar schools too. Like Nas kind of comes from that like Rakim school and a bit of the G rap. You know what I'm saying? He's not so
Yeah,
much Big Daddy. Real quick, I refer to these shit as three schools, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know my history, bro. I know other MCs came before these men, but this is a time period where these three men can be traced, like a lot of rappers styles can be traced back to these three men, and that's G Rap, that's Rakim,
yep,
and that's Kane. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So and all very different styles. They all share like certain similarities, but they're very specific schools. So, for instance, Kane, you get like, Jay-Z, you get Biggie, you know what I'm saying? The Rakim school, you get the Nas's, you know what I'm saying? The G-rap, you getting like the puns and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And rappers like that. So, I feel like we kind of, I'm very like, I'm more G-rap. I feel like, it's kind of like a 70-30 thing or a 60-40 kind of thing where I'm like very G-rap in the way I approach my I'm very heavy with multi-syllable structure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to like the science behind it, I feel like I can
Okay.
do shit that Nas probably can't do. But then, or let me not say can't, but like, maybe he's not the type to do a 8 syllable back to back kind of thing for like fucking 12 bars. You know what I'm saying? But like certain shit with like storytelling and things of that nature, man, like I can't fuck with that man, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's in his own lane, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
think word manipulation. I think you're right there. If not,
sure,
dare I
for
say,
sure.
past him, but he's got worldly views and experiences.
Of course, brother.
It's hard to touch that.
Of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
of course.
But yeah.
And my
But
career is still in its infancy, man. So
yeah.
who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. But
You know.
I thought I'd ask you, who do you get compared to most often?
Damn, you know what's crazy, bro? Like, yo, man,
Like, and I'll just start by saying, I think people mean well when they say you sound like this or you sound like that.
of course,
I
of
know
course,
to
of
some,
course.
as an artist, you're trying hard to have your own style. Sometimes it could be annoying. So I thought I'd
Right,
ask you,
right,
like,
right,
who do you get compared to most
right.
often?
I'm gonna say this, man. Like, yo, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I love it, bro. I love it. Like cause I never really hear nobody whack. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna listen to my shit and be like, yo, this motherfucker remind me of Chingy, man. Like nobody's gonna say that.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm
no,
saying? Like
no.
nobody's gonna, no disrespect to Chingy, man, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but disrespect to Chingy at the same time. So like, yeah, bro, like, but nobody's gonna say that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like anybody that I get compared to, man, it's like it's gonna be a skilled MC in some form, some shape or form. You know what I'm saying? But I I get different joints, man. I heard. I'm gonna say this too. Like, I very rarely get. I don't really get too many quote unquote haters, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
um,
not even talking
no,
about
no, no.
hates. I'm not saying, well,
But that's gonna
some
go into
dude once
something.
told me
No,
I
yeah.
sound like LL Cool J, and
You
I was like, what?
was
I'm
like,
like, I'm
where,
kind of
right?
insulted,
Like, what?
right? Like, not that
Yeah,
he's whack, you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
He's a
Of
legend, but I was like,
course.
how are you
It's like, well,
deriving
how
that?
you
So I'm
making the
just curious.
correlation? But
Yeah, like,
that's going into that's going into what I'm about to say
yeah,
is that shit. The one dude that I really remember kind of like quote unquote hating or whatever.
yeah,
Um, he said, and funny enough, his page don't even exist no more, man. This dude is a ghost and shit, bro. Like,
right.
so he said some shit like, man, yo, get your own. Oh, you know what it was? I had said a line, bro. I said, and I said this in the tournament. I said some shit like, I chew these rappers and pick they flesh out my teeth or some shit like that. And
Yeah,
he was like, yo, uh, and shout out to Chino XL, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Like, I chopped it up with him multiple
uh,
times. And he shows his support and shit like that. I gave him his flowers. He's a legend. So he was like, yo, Chino XL said that on the Wake Up Show freestyle or some shit like that. And was like, accusing me of biting or whatever. And he was like, yo, get your own style and stop trying to sound like I joke about this shit with
that's
Lord
a
Owen to this
that's
day.
a hater right
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
salute to him though. But
yeah.
like, yeah, son, like I joke about this shit with Lord On to this day, where he says some shit like, "Stop, get your own voice. Stop trying to sound like stop trying to sound like Schoolboy Q and Royce." And I'm just like, I'm like, bro, I don't know where you getting like listen to my shit and you getting these comparisons is crazy, son,
He,
vocally and voice tone wise and all that shit. But I mean, people gonna hear what they hear.
P,
But
P, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
not my fault. What's good? People what?
Yeah, people, when I hear people talk of that, they don't really know their shit. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm a big
Absolutely, man.
Action Bronson fan in his prime. Like, I think
Right.
he kind of fell off. But when people say Ghostface is Action Bronson, they sound kind of the same. But if you know the structure of rhymes
Right.
and the subject matter, to me, it's like nothing the same. Like, to me, when you talk like that, you're not really deep into the mechanics of it. That's me personally, but yeah,
Absolutely, man. I was so shit. I was gonna say, man, it's always different, man. It always varies. You know what I'm saying? I hear different things. I don't think there's any one that stands out that I'm like, all right, y'all. I hear that shit all the time. I think I mean, it's obvious if you listen to my shit, man. Like you'll hear certain like you'll hear Elzai. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear Rock Moss. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear. I think obviously maybe the one I get the most is probably like Cannabis, man. Just because
yeah,
like of how scientific my shit is. But it depends because I don't write the same shit every time, man. You might, for instance, you might hear like Celine, that might be a bit more closer to like what Rock Moss would do or some shit. You know what
I,
I'm saying? But then, oh,
see, when I hear you don't sound like Cannabis,
mhm,
but if I had to compare you to one guy in terms of your skill level, his skill level was
right,
incredible, right? So
right.
I have no shame in putting your skill level with his, and I think if you were in his era, you'd be at the top of the game, like you know what I'm
Yeah, that'd
saying?
be crazy,
Not
right,
just the
man?
underground, man,
Yeah,
because that's where your skill is at.
to
So
salute, brother, to exist in the same time period as him, man. That should be fucking bananas, man. But because
yeah,
I remember when he came into the game and he was, he was saying shit that he was like, what the
yeah,
fuck? Like I remember when I first heard Cannabis and being like, and the shit that's so crazy about him back then was like, bruh, he was doing. You got to understand, a lot of these references and shit he was making was during a time where like you couldn't just go on Google, motherfucker, and be like, "What's the name of this
yeah,
this Russian
yeah. You really have
Russian
to
fighter jet?"
read shit.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't just da 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 and or act serious some shit, motherfucker. You had to go flip through a book, motherfucker, an encyclopedia or some shit,
yeah,
and look up this information. And he's saying lines like he's like slippery saliva keeps my delivery tighter,
yeah.
enabling me to outmaneuver Russian MiG
Russian
fighters. And you're
MiG
like, what the
fighters.
fuck
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
Russian MiG fighter? So
yeah,
like, yeah, bro, he was saying shit that we was just like, what the fuck, like motherfucker be like, hey yo, the rhymes is like 10 cyclotrons in a micron when the mic's on. You're like, what the
yeah,
fuck is a
yeah,
cyclotron, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? So he was definitely way ahead of his time and very advanced. But I gotta credit him with introducing me to uh well, not really. No, let me correct myself. Not introducing me, but because I was actually introduced to like that metaphysical kind of rap. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And very imaginative sci-fi breaking the laws of physics type of
Scientific.
rap.
Yeah,
Exactly. I was introduced to that on them same forums, brother. Those same Black Planet bragging right forums and shit like that. A couple of those are the motherfuckers that really taught me how to rhyme, son.
yeah,
Some of my OG older brothers from off of that website. Shout out to Joke, shout out to Cass Double O, shout out to Oh My Goodness and all that. I don't have their contact information and all that nowadays. Hopefully they see this or something and contact me. But those brothers taught me how to rhyme, son, and they especially Oh My Goodness. I learned how to do that kind of like that Cannabis bag of rap from him, and I learned how to do multis from Jokes. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
Cass was just like witty, clever shit that I kind of adopted from him. But I kind of I got into Cannabis like around that same time period, like a little bit after that. And that's when I was like, oh, he's on another level with this shit. So I credit Cannabis for operations and sharpening my pen in that regard, in that area of rap. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But yeah, so
I think the way you play with words is more organic than him. You know
salute,
what I mean? So you're
salute. Yeah,
definitely got your own style, and yeah, man. So
appreciate
yeah.
you, bro.
Um, so I wanted to say like in the DMs, you're mad respectful, shit like that. Now,
Salute.
when I looked up the Barzap challenge, you had the demeanor of a straight assassin. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah, brother.
Like after you dropped the verses. So I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, does this Vega 7 the Ronin, dare I say, character like allow
Mm.
you to carry out some sort of alter ego? Is that how you look at it? Do you look at it as a
Mm.
alter ego, or like
I mean, yeah,
how would
man.
you describe it?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, there's very few motherfuckers out here rapping, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. you moved 80 bricks and you fucking, you know what I'm saying? You had a fleet of fucking Benzes and you transporting coke from Argentina to shut up. Nigga. No, you didn't. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cats ain't rapping 100% accurate shit that they, that their life is based on and shit like that. And whether or not y'all believe it or not. But at the end of the day, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's music.
Yeah.
So of course there's a level of like exaggeration and there's a level of just creativity and imagination. You know what I'm saying? So like, no, I'm not fucking out here reaching into your fucking chest and snatching your soul out and then
Yeah.
sending it to the cosmos. No, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it's expressive art. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely a degree of an alter ego associated with that and a separation of, who I am as a person versus who Vega 7 The Ronin is. And there's also some similarities as well. So yeah, it's definitely a alter ego. And I will say that when I was doing that tournament, yeah, man, it wasn't no friendly, like, I'm trying to get y'all out of here, man. I'm trying to kill you motherfuckers. I'm trying to, like, that's just hip hop at its core, right? It's very competitive, you know what I'm saying? And it's a blood sport, you know what I'm saying? It's like verbal UFC, where it's just like, bro, at the end, when it's all said and done, we could shake hands and, salute, respect, but during the time, bro, like, I'm trying to slit your throat, man. I'm trying to get you up out of here. So, yeah, that's where, mind you, I mean, if you see the footage, man, I'm wearing a ski mask, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm,
Very
I'm,
intimidating
yeah, I'm wearing a
to the
ski.
camera.
I'm wearing a ski mask, bro. It ain't no time for love right now, man. I'm
Yeah.
trying to destroy your entire kingdom, man, and put everybody in shackles, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, for
Yeah,
sure,
man.
it's no love.
So, so I think, going through your catalog, I think a lot of it is conceptual. You have some storytelling. You have some personal stuff as well. If it's cool, I'll pull out a couple bars in a bit. If you have time, how are
For
we
sure,
doing
for
for
sure.
time?
Yeah, yeah.
Dope,
Oh, be groovy, man. I mean, my phone on 8%. I'll throw this joint on the charger real quick. We keep this going for
dope,
sure.
dope, dope. So, I wanted to ask you, like, a lot of your raps, I would consider them battle rap-ish.
Very,
You know what I'm
very much,
saying? Like
very much. Yeah,
lyrical warfare.
very much.
Have you ever considered stepping in the battle
Mm,
rap arena? And if
mm,
so, what kind of adjustments do you think you'd have to make to your style
mm.
if you ever entertained it?
That's a great fucking question, man. I've never been asked that. Well, I have been asked that, but not in an interview. Um, shit, man. I'm gonna be honest. Would I consider it? I mean, at this current time, no. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say why. But at this current time, no. But I can't say never just because. I mean, shit, they hit you with a good enough bag. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? My brother O just brought me the charger, man. Salute, man.
awesome.
But yeah, man. I can't say never. You know what I'm saying? I might get to a certain point in my career where they like, yo, we about to offer you X amount of bread and this is the setup. And I'm like, damn, all right. You know what I'm saying? Or it might be something that I'm just kind of interested at that point where the natural progression of my career leads into that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. I can't see me ever doing it permanently where it's just like, all right, I stopped making music and now I'm into the battle shit. Nah, hell no. The answer
Yeah,
is hell no. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
as far as like would I ever do it, I can't say no at this current point in time. But I will say no right now just because yeah, for sure. I will say no right now just because one, I'm heavy into the music and I love this aspect of it and the creation process and I'm more than just that.
yeah.
But also it's like it's easy to it's easy to kind of get pigeonholed in that, man, and kind of get trapped in that to where it's
Absolutely.
like you lose the respect as an artist. I mean, even someone like Lux, you know what I'm saying, who's an amazing lyricist, man. This dude's one of the best in the world, you know what I'm saying, as far as putting words together. Lux is one of the best lyricists in the world. Actually makes solid music, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him and my brother Cambada, man. Like They put together a crazy ass album. You know what I'm saying? That was actually like my introduction to Cambada musically. You know what I'm saying? Was the album he did with Lux. But a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like the numbers don't match. You know what I'm saying? When you see the numbers for Lux's battles, it's just as high as fuck. But then you see the numbers for his music, I'm sure they don't match up like as they should, and he might not get some of the respect and some of the streams that he should get, and it might not translate, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
over
yeah,
to Spotify and over to Apple Music and all of that. And that's not saying nobody's tapping in, but the numbers ain't the same. So I say that to say it's easy for you to do it multiple times, and then people be like, I don't ever want nobody being like, Vega the battle rapper, do that battle rap, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
No, I want to be known as, and I'm sure if you ask any of them, a lot of them do music as well. They don't like that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like part of them it's kind of like, yo, man, don't make it seem like this is all I do. Like I'm not an artist, or you know what I'm saying?
and I'm not even suggesting you should. I was just curious
No, 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 no,
your
absolutely.
take on it. Yeah,
Yeah, we chopping it right now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah, man.
but nah, it's something that I'm not entertaining right now with the current moment. Plus, also, there's a lot of people that say like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could do that. I want to battle rap, man. That shit, I'll battle anybody. Shut up, and you would get cooked, bro. Like this shit is a whole different type
Yeah,
of and I'm gonna just be honest. A lot of y'all ain't equipped like that to do it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like y'all
yeah.
just not, like your pen just ain't strong enough, bro. And that's not me saying y'all not good rappers and y'all are not y'all don't have great catalogs and make great music. You just ain't built like that. Like, and that's not to say you ain't built to stand in front of somebody and have them spew, negative shit in your face or whatever.
I,
I'm sure
I,
many of y'all are, but
I,
I'll say
oh,
the
go
last
ahead, go
sentence.
ahead.
But
Yeah,
I'm sure y'all could stand across from another one because it's just rap at the end of it. Nobody's mother is getting shot. Nobody's chick is getting, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't shit to stand across from somebody and like hear them rap in your face and you rap back. But y'all, this aspect of it, y'all ain't built like that. Like y'all
but
pen is nice, but it ain't at that level to where you
but
can,
you also have to emphasize in different areas and
and
like
of course,
timing
it's
and like
a different
yeah,
science, bro. It's a
yeah.
different science
That,
completely. You know what I'm saying?
that's see, I interviewed Mickey Fax. That's what I find crazy the way he'll navigate from that to like his I think his last album produced by AOR. He's rapping about like financial advice over soulful beats. Then he's
Mm-hmm.
got a Black History Month project. Like
Hell yeah.
the way he can move between all that is pretty crazy. Not everyone
Yeah,
can do it
man.
so
This dude a
easily. You know what I
cyborg,
mean?
man. Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mick got 27 hours in his day, man. You know what I'm saying? We all just got 24 we gotta work with, man. Like that man, it's like he's crazy. Yeah.
So, so I thought you do sprinkle in some personal bars. Is it okay if I quote one from,
For sure, brother.
you
For
got
sure.
one here, Food and Medicine from Lead Lined Wall 2022. You're like,
Shout out to MCS.
you ain't got enough rent. You ain't got enough rent. At least that's what the lieutenant told the sergeant. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up watching the fruits of their labor never grow to harvest. Sylvester
Sylvester
Stallone
Stallone process.
process. You got it from here, or you want me to
What I
keep
said,
going?
Sylvester Stallone process. Wait, so that
While you're sprawling on the couch, we
wait till it's
awake. It's
darkest out,
darkness.
drinking egg yolks and jogging. Yeah. Can you
Can
become a
you?
better artist and can you become a better father and get to grow as an artist? Or do you got to let that go because them Legos is on the carpet? Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm gonna call and
I'm gonna
pay a
call and pay a
sitter.
sitter. Get left with
You
an
get
open
left with
melon. My
open
daughter
melon.
watching Coco Melon while daddy saute a nigga. We in for meals. I'm hoping my brothers all make it richer. So I could bottle it up or I could formulate it with them.
There
All these
you
veterans,
go.
gatekeepers, and I had saw that they was bitter. Reason I hate you, old niggas. Wait, that's Corday and Scissor. It's the recording grave digger, making sure Vega deliver
There we
more
go.
damage than corn-based liquor through Noriega liver. Come on, man. It's all, man.
So there you go. So
Corn-based liquor through Noriega liver, man. Come on,
crazy,
man. Yeah,
man.
salute, man. I appreciate you.
That's the replay value right there, bud. So
Salute.
I wanted to ask you, what kind of mind game is it for you to pursue music with these kind of thoughts about your family, life responsibility? Like, how do you push forward towards your goal? You know what I'm
Um,
saying?
so you mean just what sour cream and onion, man. He know this shit, man. Shout out to Josh Shades, baby. Yeah, but so you asking me as far as like with like the reality aspect of it, as far as like balancing like
Yeah,
fatherhood and the
yeah,
family and shit.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I just want to be sure. It's it's just not easy, man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not easy, like finding time out of your day to work on music while, you know what I'm saying, raising your child and making sure that you know, they get the proper attention that they need and you not neglecting them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the music shit is also your child. And it's like you have to nurture that as well. You have to water that as well. You know what I'm saying? Or else the flower is gonna wither. So it's tough, man, doing the kind of balancing act and also it's not like back in the day where you could just write whenever you want. And it's like, you know, I very much as an artist love to just be free flowing. You know what I'm saying? I love to be able to just, and that's due to my writing style too, in the sense of like I could be at the supermarket and a fucking line hit me when I'm just like, oh shit, man, I'm about to put together the fucking cream of wheat line that I got in my mind and shit. Like I just came up
Yeah,
with this ill cream of wheat reference or Ben's minute rice concept or some shit, and I'll write it down in my notes and then just continue shopping. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little difficult to do that, you know, as a father, and you got your daughter in the shopping cart and she's and you like fuck, you know, you got to focus on this and kind of like put your other child or your other baby with music kind of to the side. So you kind of limited a little bit in a way where it's like, all right, man, I might only be able to write at night. You know what I'm saying? I might only be in a situation where it's like I gotta wait until she goes to sleep at night so I could, all right, now I could get busy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's tricky, man. But I mean, I would say this just to finish it, man. Like if you care enough and this is really who you are and this ain't
yeah,
just like a hobby and this is like in your blood to do, you're gonna find a way, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find a way one way or the other. If not, then I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a different avenue for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's finding maybe you need to find a different passion and put your energy in that. You know what I'm saying? So but
yeah,
you'll find it. You know when you want something bad enough, man, you'll
yeah,
get there, man. You know what I'm saying? You find
yeah.
a way.
So you also had a line there. I'll keep this one brief. All these veterans, gatekeepers, and I heard sort of they was
Mhm.
bitter. I don't know if that was just the bar,
Yeah,
and I don't mean to call out any names, but
yeah.
do you feel that is that a line based in reality? Like, do you feel like you
Hell
with your
yeah.
skill level, you're getting blocked?
Hell yeah, son. So like, yo, hold on. Let me plug up this charger right quick. Bear with me, son. One second, man. Sorry, brother. I don't want to sabotage your
No worries. I'm gonna shout out
session,
everyone
brother.
commenting.
For
Jay
sure.
Malik, he did it a year ago, but you were a 995 a year ago. Is that what you were
Uh,
doing?
yeah,
Oh
man.
shit!
Yeah, I
Wow.
was, man. They'll see. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It'll come out
Looking forward to
eventually, man.
that, man.
Yeah, they got that shit in
Um,
the vault right now. It's coming out though. Hold on.
so I can recap that line in case
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
you're
You good?
you're like all these veterans gatekeepers, and I heard sort of they was bitter.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking, is that based in reality, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, you damn right. That's based on reality in the sense of like, man. Well, when I wrote that line, you got to think like I was new on the scene too, so that didn't really pertain to my situation necessarily at that point in time because it was like I just got here, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's true, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, I can apply it to me now in the sense of like, man, I'm sure there's cats that know about me, man. Like, you know, and this is something you find out if you doing what you got to do and you've been in the game for a little minute or whatever, like people know who you are, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
it'll be people that you might not even expect. You might think they too high on the ladder to know who you are or whatever. They know who you are. They paying attention. They seen your name pop up before. Somebody told you about them or something like that. And I'm sure some of them probably feel like, you know, let's keep this dude down here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of gatekeeping and a lot of politics and things like, of course, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like no fucking
yeah.
secret. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure there are people out there like I don't have any names or anything like that, but I'm sure there's I know, bro. You know, yeah, I'm gonna just say that without saying too much, but like,
Fair enough. Yeah,
I know there's people out there who's just like, bro, like fucking keep
he's
him
too
away.
nice.
Like,
He's
yeah,
too
you know
nice.
what I'm saying? Like they threatened or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It is
Yeah,
what it is. Like
yeah.
or
So I'll just do one more quote. You know what I mean? I actually like finding the more personal lines. You know what I'm saying? More than the lyrical from
Love it.
these interviews.
Love
So
it.
Jizza Chew Sticks. You're like, I had to wait until the rug was drier because the heavy rain in my mother's crib would leak up
Make
under the fridge and it'd make the
puddle
puddle higher.
hella
Hella gas
won't big.
down.
My fault. My fault.
Yo, I don't know if I got this part right. You're like hella gas down to one bit while sparking this other
Yeah,
lighter.
yeah, yeah.
Came
Yeah.
home off the train to the distant sirens of
Streets
cover fire.
hot.
Streets watched me. I saw the ghost of my deceased posse.
The smoke cloud on the seat were popping the beef and broccoli, man. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
yeah,
So I thought I'd ask you, how far are you removed from this scenery today, man? That you're describing
all
here.
removed, man. Yo, bro, like I almost feel like I'm off the grid now or something, man. Like I live in the woods or something, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I'm thankful to get up out of there. I feel like obviously through hip hop, there's a lot of glorification of that particular lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of like it's it's made to seem like very Hollywood and very like yo this the shit right here. You know what I'm saying? Like this environment, this what I want to be around, and this what I want to surround myself with and whatnot. But when you really been around that environment for so long, bro, like you want to get
Yeah.
the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be around that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like having a daughter as well. It's like I don't want to raise my daughter in that environment, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that shit might be cool to y'all. That shit ain't cool to me. You know what I'm saying? Growing up and seeing friends get shot and die on their own porch and
Yeah.
fucking drugs and just violence and shit like that. That shit ain't cool, man. So you damn right. Getting up out of there was like fucking a blessing, man. And right before I left, I was living by like Sutphin, you know what I'm saying? I was living in the building I was at was nice, but the area I was at was like, it was hectic, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the hood, basically. So it's all of that shit that you see associated with that, man, prostitution and drugs and shit like that. People getting they windows smashed out and things like that. And fucking heroin needles on the floor, and I gotta walk my
Yeah.
around in a stroller past all this shit. Like, nah, man. So yeah, getting out of that environment, man, was a blessing. Cause like I said, man, I feel this shit feel like I'm in witness protection right now with some shit. I got trees
Yeah.
around me, man. I got the woods.
Yeah. It's nice to have some space,
Hell yeah,
right?
of course. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm thankful as hell. I'm thankful as hell I'm no longer in that environment. And that's an older chapter in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's like it is what it is. And it shaped me and it molded me into the person I am today. And I'm thankful for it, you know what I'm saying? Because it definitely strengthened my character. But it's time to move on, man. You get older, bro, and it's like, fuck that
Yeah.
shit. There's
Yeah,
more
man.
than that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was just gonna say that's kind of why now, like I said, I still listen to music for the art form, and like I said, it's entertainment at the end of the day. But it's like I don't know, man. Certain lines don't really it don't really hit for me like that in the sense of like when you listen to certain rap and it's like it's yeah I just don't really listen to certain shit as much as I used to, man. It's just
Well, I'll be transparent. Like, I didn't come from an environment that was like that aggressive. You know what I mean? There was shit that went down, but like today, especially at this age, one of the challenges I have with not just the current underground scene, but like if you're rapping about all your resolution has to do with guns and bloodshed and violence and selling drugs, like that's the end all be all. I can't even get into it anymore. Like I've heard it from the '80s to the '90s, 2000s, like I'm done. Like I can't. As
right.
good as you are at delivering it, I just
Yeah,
I can't anymore, bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel, man. I'm saying it's gotta be more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not to say, look, bro, I don't just go around just listening to gospel rap or
Yeah.
I'm,
No.
I'm
No. Of course
like
not.
above any, you know what I'm saying, anybody as far as a human being, but it's just like, yeah, been there, done that, man. Certain shit where it's just like, all right, nigga, you, your man's got shot and you shot all these niggas and you sell X amount of coke and do that. whoop-de-doo, nigga. Like I've been seeing this growing up and experiencing all of these things. So it's just like that shit don't really, it don't resonate with me as much as it used to when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Kind of more knucklehead minded with a lot of shit. So
That
it got to be more than that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be talking about other shit along with that. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I liked about Nas, because he always had some universal points of view he'd throw in as well. You know what I'm saying? So it added some layers to for me, anyways. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So,
Yeah, I just lost my. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, do you consider yourself like a conceptual rapper?
no, but
If you did, okay, sounds like you don't. How do you put your personal experience into that? You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. I
Like,
will say this
let me
though.
know if that question makes sense.
So say that last part again. That last sentence.
Like to me, like you strike me often as a storyteller or rapping about a concept. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, but how do you bring your personal life into that,
Okay.
if you do at all,
Right,
or do you
right,
separate yourself
right,
completely?
right, right.
Does
Okay,
that make
so
sense? That
absolutely.
question?
So, I wouldn't really refer to myself as a conceptual rapper, but I can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not my bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? But as you can tell, listening to my catalog extensively, you can tell that it's not. Even though I mean, like I've made conceptual albums in the past. I've actually just wrapped up a conceptual album. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I can do it for sure, but I wouldn't call myself a conceptual rapper just because
Gotcha.
I would call Kambada a conceptual rapper because he does that at a higher percentage than I do. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's kind of in my tool bag that I could kind of like utilize when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Or if I see fit, or if I'm in that particular type of bag, I can do it and do it well. You know what I'm saying? But uh, uh yo, you know what's funny? When I said that, bro, that shit reminded me of the when you said you got the LL comparisons. When I said I
Right.
could do it and do it well, you know what I'm saying? It was like I want to do it. But yeah, Queen's legend. But yeah, as far as the reality, the second part to your question, with the reality based versus, like, you know what I'm saying, do I kind of step outside of myself? Um, I don't usually do the conceptual joints pertaining to like my life. Not yet anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'll say not yet because there's a lot of shit that y'all are gonna hear from me. There's a lot of shit that y'all don't even know I can do because
Right.
I just haven't done it yet because I'm choosing to kind of present to y'all a side of my writing that I wish to present at this time, at this current time. You know what I'm
Because so I want to like not apologize, but like this interview is gonna run longer than usual. I hope you're
saying?
cool
Brother,
with it, man. I have so many good things to discuss, some
oh yeah, man.
interesting shit. So
Lock
thank
it,
you for your
bro.
time, bro.
Of course, bro.
But your song Mutiny, right? It's kind of you're rapping about the sort of the samurai's life or
Mhm.
Ronin's life. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then you like blend in some bars like I feel like you in the industry battling the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, you have an interesting way of like telling a story and blending yourself into it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, yeah, man. That goes back to what we were talking about. Where see that was definitely my song for like the topic we were talking about before, as far as like, yeah, they know, they see, a lot of people see, you know what I'm saying? And that was my song for, like, it wasn't just for me, it was like for us. And what I mean
yeah,
by is like all of those artists, pardon me, that are at the quote unquote ground level, you know what I'm saying, in the underground, and they kind of like, you know, they maybe they've been in the shit for a couple years, but maybe they still building their following, you know what I'm saying, and they're still kind of like building their careers up. Um, and they might have people who are, you know, trying to keep them down, or just not opening certain doors that they could be opening, you know what I'm saying, but they choose to keep them closed, to keep these people shut out. Um, Whether that's because, you know, they're threatened by their talent, or they just kind of like, yeah, I don't like that motherfucker for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? And we obviously we know that there are people there are people in certain positions of power that it's like, you know what I'm saying? If you you know, you might rub them the wrong way, and that shit could lose. You could lose a lot of traction. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
there's certain people in this shit that like control certain shit. It's like, bro, like, you know, they could fuck around and be a obstacle in your path type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was my song on some like, man, like fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck those
Yeah.
gamers and all those divas and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was my song. That was my song for us to them type shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love that shit.
This is what I respect about you dudes like out there putting it on the line is like you've taken it to a level I didn't really get to. I just wanted to be a dope rapper, figure out my sound. I put a bunch of mixtapes, videos over the year. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
you're like going up against politics, like people fucking blocking your vision, shit like that. And I salute you guys. It's not easy to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Even the taste that I got of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
sorry,
thank you,
go. Yeah.
brother. Yeah, man. I'm just, at the end of the day though, man, I'm just having fun with this shit, man. Like I know it seems like and I don't ever want that to be the narrative, man, that I'm just kind of like, yo, this shit is not fair and they're trying to hold me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't give
Yeah. Yeah.
a fuck. Yo, I very much got the mindset that like, yo, nobody gonna stop me, bro. Nobody can stop me. The only person that can stop me is me. In the sense of like, there's nobody that I feel like directly stands in my path or is a threat to, you know what I'm
Good.
saying?
Good.
But at the same
Good.
time, we're not gonna act like these these things don't happen. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear about these things occurring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hating on you and trying to kind of make your career difficult and of course these things happen, but at the same time I just feel like, bro, ain't nobody standing in my way. And what I mean by like the only person that can stop me is like if I decide to stop rapping or if I decide not to take it seriously anymore or I slack or whatever, like yeah, it's all on me. The only person I really fear at the end of the day is just me because I
Mm.
hold my destiny in my own hands. So if I drop the ball, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear. I don't want the narrative to be like, oh, they crying
Yeah.
about fuck
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. You're
about
just
that shit.
speaking facts, man.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
part of the game, right? So yeah, thank you, Q Hater. We ain't interested in trying to stop in you trying to stop. So look, I'm seeing all the comments. This interview will go forever if I address all of them. I see all of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you for your interest.
yeah.
We're gonna keep it rolling with some dope questions for Vega.
Re-
So
Oh,
I want to get back.
quick,
Oh,
my
go ahead. Go
oh,
ahead.
that's my brother, Kata, man. Thank you, Kata. He was actually in the tournament too, and shit, man. That's a whole other story though, man. Like, yo, it came down to me and him, son, and it was, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of luck on my side, man. That day, I'll say that, man. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best rappers I've heard, son.
Okay.
Period. You know what I'm saying?
I'll have to check them out. So we're gonna get right into the Barzaf challenge now.
Yeah,
That's a good segue.
yeah.
So from what I caught on the Abyss podcast, once again, salute to them and that dope episode.
Uh,
You went from honing your craft in the basement to
sir.
entering that. Is that a fair statement? And if so, I wanted to ask you, can you describe where you were at with your craft before the Barzap challenge and like what did the Barzap challenge do for you? Like that was 2021, the Barzap
That
challenge?
was 2021. You know what I'm saying?
2021. Okay.
That was specifically December 2021. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So that was. Hey, yo, actually, hold on one second. I'm gonna pop my headphones in, man, before I continue that. Yeah, that was December 2021, and I actually found out about that um just randomly, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me unplug this. Um, I found out about that randomly, yo, and um, at first I wasn't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of just like, at that point in time, man, my mindset was kind of just like, all right, bro, like I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna rap for Mickey Facts, and then what? Like, best case scenario, he's gonna be like, that was dope, and that's the end of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of just like, I didn't really see any point in it in doing it,
Are,
and
are, are, are you rapping on the street at this point? Or are you just doing it? Is it private, like you're writing and shit, or
all
like are
right,
you out
so
out and about?
right, all right, so this year. this year was the 20, and I'm referring to 2021. You know what I'm saying? This was the year that I was like, yo, I'm gonna take music serious because that was the year. Sorry, 2020 actually. Late 2020 was the year that I was like, yo, I'm gonna start taking my music seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because people around me was always telling me like, yo, man, stop hoarding your music,
Mm,
man. Like, stop keeping your music. Everybody always know me as like, they always knew me as like, yo, son, Vega, son, he's super nice and like he's one of the nicest dudes I know. That's my man's and they was just telling me like, bro, like stop. You gotta put your shit out there. Like, and I knew it was bad because it came to the point where every time I would work on something and I would rap it for somebody, they'd be like, yo, that's dope, man. Like, yo, what you doing with that? And I'm just like, shit, nothing.
I'll just validate. You let me hear a clip of one of your old
My
songs,
fault. Yeah.
right? We're talking 2013, and the wordplay was right there, man.
Salute,
You were
brother.
a bit more
Yeah,
laid
yeah.
back, but the wordplay
So
was right there. So sorry, I cut
yeah,
you off.
nah, you good, bro. Nah,
Yeah,
man, I went through a lot of phases, man.
yeah,
I went through a lot of phases as an artist, man, to kind of get to the point that I'm at now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But yeah, with the tournament, back to the tournament situation. Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, what's the best thing that's gonna happen from this, man? Mickey Fax gonna be like, that was fire, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, man, thank you, have a good night, appreciate you, and then nothing comes out of it. So I was going through that shit, man, and then I kind of was like, you know what, man, let me just take the leap of faith, yo. Let me do something that I wouldn't normally do. Let me put the pessimism to the side and just try something, man. Step out my comfort zone and just try. And by comfort zone, I was battling before that. Yeah, I wasn't on URL or some shit like that, but like I ain't no stranger to high school cafeteria battles or
Yeah, yeah,
being in the hood and you know what I'm saying? Some dude like, son, oh, you rap, so I'm gonna get my mans. You can't fuck with my man, son. I'm like, get him,
right.
motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. So I'm no stranger to that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? But this was something that I was kind of just like, man, it was just like, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, bro. I don't know what the reward is gonna be for me doing this and going out of my way. But yeah, that whole story is crazy. Just kind of like, yo, like he was doing these audition episodes basically where it was like for a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? That he would have a IG live and people would go up there and rap and he would oftentimes have like celebrity judges and shit like that. Like one time he had like Smoke Dizzle.
Mm.
He had like shout out
Rascat,
my
Rascats.
Razzcast
I
was on
saw.
there.
Right.
Shout out my brother Stally. Not my brother Stally. My boy Stally. I say my boy because I used to see him in Lawton all the time. You know what I'm saying? And super humble, man. I would see him like by the Long Island Railroad by the train. You know what I'm saying? I remember chopping. I used to be on my way to work and I would chop it up with him. And he was like, every time I chop it up with him, this dude was super humble, super chill. You know what I'm saying? And this was like right before he got signed to like MFG and all of that. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So that's my boy right there, man. Salute to Stally, man. Good dude. But Stally was on an episode. I wasn't on that episode. Actually, the episode that I was on was the night that I went on for the audition. I think it was Rock, Helter Skelter, man.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Sean Price brother. So um yeah, Rock the monster, son. You know what I'm saying? The Rockness monster. He was on that episode. And yeah, so like what the format was basically was like they would give you a score from 1 to 10, and
Yeah.
depending on what the target score was that night, that would depend if you even are eligible to get in the damn tournament. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So the night that I went, bro, it was like you had to get a 9 and up or some shit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just to
and
get in the
just to
tournament.
get in the
Just to
damn
get.
tournament. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
the tournament ain't even start yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So luckily, I think I got like a 9.5, something like that, 9.5 out of 10. And I got a 9 from Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like Rock gave me a 9, Mick gave me a 9.5. And that's how I got into the tournament. And mind you, I didn't even know it was a tournament at the time, son. Like I'm just like fucking, I'm going up there to rap. Uh they finally called me up on the IG live or whatever. He's just going through random names and I see like, Mickey Fax wants you to, be on the live. I'm like, oh shit, all right, it's time. You know what I'm saying? So I go there, I rap or whatever, they give me the score. And then I didn't know it was a tournament until after I rapped. And then Mick was like, he was like, all right, man, see you December 21st, King, or whatever. And I'm like, the
Yeah.
fuck, see me for what? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then I finally figured out after, like, oh, this a whole thing. Like, this is a whole competition, a whole little tournament or whatever. So it was
So
wild, man. The whole
i-
shit was wild. Man.
is it true you faced Lord Owen in the
Yeah,
finals
yeah,
and
yeah,
that was
yeah.
season one, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this before I say that, man. That shit was grueling, man. And the reason I say that is because I don't know how many others were doing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was too many others. But I was writing new shit for this, bro. Like I'm talking about, like, let's say we rap Sunday, and the next time we gotta rap is like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like, bro, I'm writing shit Tuesday to rap it for Wednesday. I'm writing like new 60-second raps and shit. I gotta memorize drilly shits in my head 24 hours
Yeah.
and memorize them and then rap them the next
It's a
day.
lot
You
of
know what I'm
work.
saying? So,
It's a lot
and
of
then
work.
and then I go Wednesday, and then they like, all right, we rap again Friday, and I got a day to write or whatever. Come up with another 60-second round, drill it in my head, memorizing it. That shit was fucking grueling, man. Like I don't miss that part. I don't miss that aspect of it, man. But you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, but nah, yeah, I faced Owen, man. You know what I'm saying? I faced Lord Owen, man, and he was one of the few dudes that was on my radar at that point in time, who I was well aware of who he was, because when he did his audition with Mick, man, Mick was like, yo, man, we about to, oh, like, he going through the names and shit. He like, oh, we about to bring, oh man, I got my boy in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they had already had like a pre-existing relationship, in the sense of, like, Owen has a brother named Sorry the Kid, and
yeah. I'm
they kind of
I'm
all,
aware.
yeah, they had kind of all linked before, and Owen had rapped for Mick before, and Mick was like, this dude is fucking crazy, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So Mick was already familiar with all, how talented Owen was and shit. So when he seen his name over there, he was like, oh shit, yo, we about to bring up one of the ones. You know, he doing the whole Apollo Creed speech for this dude, like the
yeah.
master of disaster and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He
Right,
bringing
right,
him up.
right.
And I'm like, all right, who the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And then he bring him up, and this dude is just this, like, yo, bro. Instantly, I could tell that he was from the same background as me, in the sense of we both come from those battle rap forums online. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
both come from that school of just like the fucking text battles after school. You gotta verse this dude at, like, your verse is due at 8 p.m. and you gotta write a 16 battle
yeah,
rap against
yeah,
this dude, and then the people judge it and all of that shit. Like, we both come from that. You know what I'm saying? So I could tell instantly from his style that I was like, this dude had a very similar upbringing to me. In his in his formative years, in his teen years, and I could hear it in his style. I don't know how many
yeah,
others heard it or knew, but I knew instantly. I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be a fucking
yeah,
problem. He's gonna be a threat,
yeah,
and I need him to eventually get out of here. You know what I'm saying? That was my mind. That was my thought process at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, so yeah, and O got a 10. To cap it off, Mick was like, like, after he spit his verse, and he was like, 10. It's
I
10 for me. And I think the other
I
dude
saw
gave him a
one of
10
the
too.
rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember sitting there, I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this motherfucker right here,
Was
I'm
that the
gonna have to
only
worry about him, son.
10? Was that the only 10 of the
Shit.
season? Or
Nah, that was the only 10 of the season, but
right,
that was the only 10 that day
right,
that I
right,
recall. You know, I
right.
didn't sit through every single, I was like 30, 40 motherfuckers. I didn't hear every single person, but yeah, nobody else got a 10, bro. Like, not that day. Not that day
Yeah, yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was the only one. So fast forwarding, we going through multiple rounds and shit like that. But like I had spoke to him during like one of the rounds, man. I don't remember. It might have been like the quarterfinals or some shit like that. And I had hit him up, and I was like, damn, I basically just gave him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you were a fucking assassin. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, I appreciate you, man. Da, da, da. Like, yo, the funny thing about that, and we joke about it to this day, but like, he didn't even know that I rap. he
Yeah.
didn't know who I was. Like he didn't even know I was in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So he thought I was just a spectator that was like, yo, man, you killing it, man, in the tournament. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, nigga, I'm somebody you need to be
He's
worrying
talking to
about.
the
You know what I'm saying?
enemy.
Like, yeah, like you talking to
You
the
trying
enemy
to
right
get
now. Like,
information?
you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm be, yeah, I'm be honest. I really just wanted to give him his flowers, man, because I'm just
Yeah.
like, bro, like it was almost one of these things where it's like, bro, how did you learn how to rap like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
Yeah.
I know how I learned how to rap like that, cause I came up in the
Yo,
whole forum shits. But how do you know? Like, how do you know
his
how to rap?
verse on Nightshade was it's the first verse I'd heard of from him ever.
Yeah,
That was masterful, man. I'm like I'm already excited to hear, but I know he's gonna drop an
yeah,
album this year if
yeah,
he's
yeah,
holding
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward to that. So
Yeah.
shout
I
out to
hate him.
Lord Owens, but
I hate him. I hate him for what he did on Nightshade because, yo, bro, like, son, his vocal tone and delivery on that shit is just like it's like don't mind you, I'm killing it like lyrically. Oh my, I'm killing on that
yeah,
verse, and then he comes in and he's Lord, you know,
yeah,
and it's just like,
yeah.
damn, man, this motherfucker
Effortless, just flowing.
effortless
You know what I'm
tone, bro, and
saying?
it's just like.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't hold verses for safekeeping. I'm more determined to St. Regis where the waves reaching. Dark night, jump in the wraith. You see the flames
Leaping.
leaping. I was just like,
That
I was
was a
like,
good.
come
That was
on.
a fire
Yeah,
visual.
and I'm just
Yeah,
like, bro, like after
yeah.
he recorded that verse and I heard it, I was just like, man, get the fuck out of
I,
here, man.
I don't raise the bar, I break the bar.
Yeah, now you can't reach
That was
it. Yeah, that's fucking
yeah,
stupid, man.
that
Yeah,
was
so but nah, man. So I knew I would have to face him, man, at some point in time. Like I knew I was, and I told him this, man. Like I was rooting for people to get him the fuck out of here. Like when he would have his rounds, I'm rooting for the other person, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yes, get him, remove this threat for me. It's almost like if you sent like if the boss sent one of his minions or some shit and was like, yo, man, like
yeah,
kill
yeah.
this man for me, and then
Break his knee
yeah, like yo,
in the chamber, shatter his knee.
yo, what's that? Yo, what's that figure skater's name, son?
Tanya Harding,
Yeah,
Tanya
son,
Harding.
on some
Yeah,
Tanya Harding shit. Like, yo, sabotage, fuck his ACL up, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I would just open the door the next day and see like my henchman's fucking head in the box or something. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, son. Like,
yeah.
you know, he's just too damn dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So, there came a point where I realized, like, bro, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to try because nobody else like the best chance we got is and mind you, there was others in the tournament too. Like there was Kata in the tournament, my boy Mac the Black Sheep, London Moore. There was several
So,
people in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? But
so oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I just knew, bro. I knew that it wasn't going to be Kata versus him. I just knew, bro, that it was like it's gonna be me versus him at some point, son. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna
Yeah.
boil down to if I don't get him out of here, then don't know. You know what I'm saying? This dude could win the whole
So,
shit. Who the fuck knows?
so, long story short, you beat him in the finals. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, and it well, that was actually yeah, it was like it was weird how it was set up. So it was like that was the final. Yeah, that was basically the finals. And then after that, it went into this whole showcase round thing. With like the last four people and you had to rap a verse for like 90 seconds or some shit like that. And then so it wasn't a head to head thing anymore. It was like how I am on live right now with you, Mickey Fax, and I'm me. I got to rap for 90 seconds and then I get
Yeah.
off the camera and then the next person gets on camera and spits for you. It was like that type of format. But yeah, like me and yeah, that was the last match of the head to head bracket type shit. You know what I'm saying? That was like the last match. And it really, I'm gonna be honest, it really boiled down to just like Owen take it serious enough in the sense of like I wanted it more, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
what I had prepared for him um was just I wanted it more, son. What he had in his first half of his verse, had he continued that pace, it might have went to a second round or who knows, he might have got me out of
I,
there,
I
you know what I'm
I
saying? Like
I gotta find that. But so from what I
yeah,
understand, the crazy thing is you won season one
right.
and he won season
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
That's why.
yeah.
So you
Oh,
guys built a friendship from there,
yeah,
obviously, right?
So side note, man, shout out the actual last match was me versus Kata. You know what I'm saying? They came down to me versus Kata, and Kata ended up, you know what I'm saying, having like some technical difficulty shit, and he ended up like dropping his laptop. You know what I'm saying? Like midway through his verse, and that shit sabotaged them. You know what I'm saying? But Lupe was like, yo, man, like had that shit not happened, that shit either would have went to a second round or he might have got you. So it was like, I mean, it was very much like, you know, it was skill combined with like some level of luck as well. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of winning that tournament, man. You know what I'm saying? Like there was don't I don't want the picture to be like this dude came along and just decimated everything in his path. Like, bro, like
Yeah.
Kata and O were, yeah, like they these motherfuckers are some of the best rappers I ever heard, man. So yeah, it wasn't no just destroying them and like body bagging them. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
like it was very much came down to like some elements of luck on my side too. So
So,
shout out to
so
them.
I saw Mickey Fax's reaction when you beat, if I said it properly, LEGs. He's like, he said, Vega, I'm scared of you. Like, those are literally the words that he said.
Right,
And
right, right.
I understand that Lupe was said something along the lines of, you're the best rapper I ever heard. Let me know if I'm wrong. That clip I didn't see. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How the hell does that feel, man?
Man, I forgot to send that clip to you too. It
Yeah.
doesn't exist more in the sense of it's buried in mixed archives on his live, so you can't even find that shit no more. You know, but I have it. I have footage of it or whatever. A couple people have footage of it still. But pardon me. But how does it feel, man? Shit is fucking surreal, man. Like yo, like Lupe is like top. Let me move this light right quick. Yeah, Lupe is he's he's some people's goat, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, bro?
absolutely.
Can you hear me? My fault. I'm hoping my
Yeah, yeah. You're
we
good.
good.
You're loud and clear. Yeah.
All right, salute. So Lupe is some people's goat, man. You know what I mean? And even if he not, I mean, look at how many top five and top 10 lists he's on
Yeah.
as far as just being like one of the best lyrical tacticians of all time. Um, mind you, you gotta understand also that like I didn't have any. I had very little music out, bro. I had maybe two, three songs maximum. I had some shit with my brothers like MTS and Tills, and I don't even think I had a Books track at the time. Not out on DSP, but I had maybe three tracks, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting in my basement, and I didn't. I didn't quite yet have the public's opinion on or perception on my music. So I don't know what they're thinking. I don't have I'm not able
Mm,
to use them as a barometer as to like where I'm at with it. All I
that's
know
surreal.
is my personal opinion and the opinion of friends and family and what they tell me. You know what I'm saying? So I have very little public feedback and public opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, I mean, yeah, you could think you the dopest motherfucker in the room, but you don't know until you step outside. You don't know until you go outside and venture out, and what they tell you is going to let you know a bit more realistically about where you at. You know what I'm saying? But so I say that to say that made it even more surreal because this is really my first time stepping outside like that
That's
in
wild, man.
in the public eye, and then to have yes, my fault, brother. Mark Price was out before the tournament. Yeah, it was. That was one of the few tracks. But yeah, like to have Lupe say that, and I'm gonna be honest too. When he first said it, I didn't even hear him, son. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
remember that was just coming off of the me going up against Lord Owen, and I was sitting in the car like side. I'm in the dark and shit. You know, I'm sitting in the car sideways, and I'm smoking a cigarette, and like Lupe is on it, and I'm like this. I'm like sitting there, like looking this way. I'm smoking a cig, and I'm not even looking at Lupe when he says it. You know what I'm saying? And so when you see the footage, he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. Vega's one of the best rappers I've ever heard." And it's just silence. It's just silence, bro. Like I don't say like, "Yo, salute, brother. I appreciate it." Nothing. like he says, Vega's one of the best rappers I ever heard. I'm just sitting there, just smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't planned that way to be on some like, yeah, let me look like this cold blooded, calculating off. It was really like I didn't even hear him, and I didn't hear him because I was in my head because I knew that like I couldn't get distracted, bro. I didn't want any distractions. Like I didn't feel like talking. I didn't feel like carrying on a conversation
Bro,
because I knew the job wasn't done yet. So I had to stay focused. I had to stay in my mind. So I wasn't even on Earth at that point in time. I didn't hear him.
bro, like when I saw those clips and like Mickey Fact's reaction, like if you would have told me that was your first time in a tournament,
Mhm.
I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, bro.
you sounded invincible, bro. Like to me, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
oh,
So
yeah,
that
man.
that
I attribute that to just my upbringing, man. You know, just as far as like this wasn't my first time in a head to head scene. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my first
yeah,
doing like competitive rap and
yeah,
you know, and also just like man, I'm a big fan of battle rap, man. Just growing up, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I come from the DVD eras with Mook vs. Lux and Party Yardy and all that shit. Like so, that as you mentioned earlier, like that has a big influence on my style. You know what I'm saying? To
The,
so
it, it's kind of the same, like you know what I'm saying. I discovered your music a bit late, you know what I'm saying. But when I went back, I'm like, how the fuck does this guy only have three projects? Like this is impossible. You
yeah,
know, it's the same thing. Like this is impossible. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man.
yeah,
It only seems that way. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
I just did all my training behind the scenes, man. You know what I'm saying? But it is kind of wild though. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Just and I'm sure that's how a lot of people felt, man, when they seen Leadline Wall drop, and it's just kind of thing where it's like, bro, who the fuck is this? Like, this is in life.
yeah,
Like you tell me this is very first. He hasn't released anything before this, so
yeah,
I'm sure when they heard that was just like, nah, this don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But it makes perfect sense when you realize that like I've been working behind the scenes for like 20 years, bro. Maybe like
yeah.
close to 20,
Yeah, it's crazy.
over
That
20.
and that's why when I interview people, I like, okay, first of all, can they make some classic albums now? Are they active? Then I go back, like that's just the tip of the iceberg. I know what goes into this,
Right.
right? And that's what I want to reveal to people that aren't in the know is like, bro, there's so much that went into getting to where Vega is, you know,
Absolutely.
or anyone else, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So
yes, sir.
yeah. So I have some inside information. I understand like you, Lord Owen, Mickey
Right.
Fax,
Right.
Sai, Ari live like within
Yeah,
5 minutes of each other,
yeah,
and
bro.
they're
Yeah.
kind of like big bros to you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's that's
Like,
that's very accurate. You know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy thing is that like you can't make this shit up. You know
right?
what I mean? Like, yo, a year prior, or a year and change prior to that, I just met these individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like I had spoken to Mickey Fax like maybe once or twice before the tournament just because I had uh I had something. This is back. Remember when I was saying I was taking the music thing seriously and all that?
Yeah,
So this was around the time where I was putting up like little quick freestyles, kind of freestyle format type shit on my IG, trying to just get more traffic and more people kind of listen to my shit. And the system that I had back then was I used to tag 20 people. So once I found out about that tag feature where you could tag people on posts, I was like, oh, it's over. I'm about to harass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro,
right,
I'm
right.
about to, I'm tagging like Elza, I'm tagging Fonte, I'm tagging, but at the same time, I'm being realistic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tagging Nas. I know Nas don't got the time of day to be checking on no shit I'm doing, or I'm not tagging artists that I feel like are like this is a fucking shot at the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tagging artists that I feel like they're successful, and these are artists that I respect, but I still feel like it's realistic for them to be able to come across my music. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
because they know Hollywood access, you know what I'm saying? Like true, what was that shit? True Hollywood stories type motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I'm like, so yeah, I'm tagging like cats like Shad K, who's from Canada. Shout out to Shad K, man.
Yeah.
Big, he's
So
he, he's an influence on my style too. And cats like Jess, this rapper from England. So a very,
I
very
know Jess. I
Jess
know
is
Jess. I was
yo, bro.
he's a
Jess,
he's like the UK Nas to me.
yeah, yo, bro.
Like not really, but you know what I'm saying. He's
Right,
the
right, right.
closest thing I
Yo,
could say.
he's a very, very big inspiration to my pen, son. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, yes, bro. Yeah, I'm tagging people like that, man. People that I'm familiar with, that I think are dope. And Mickey Fax happened to be one of those people, man. Also Elzai. I remember I tagged Elzai or something, and then I seen, this is back when I had like 80 something followers.
yeah,
And I remember
yeah,
I tagged Elzai, and then I looked at my phone and it said, "Yo, Elzai liked your post." I'm like, "Get the fuck out!" I'm like, "Yo, Elzai like my shit, son." So
yeah, yeah,
and then he started following me, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." You know what I'm saying? And that's how I knew, like, all right, maybe I got something going here. You know what I'm saying? And I tagged Mickey. Here's a funny story, right? Real quick. So I tagged Mickey in one of those freestyles, and there was a particular line in that joint, and then he had quoted the line in the comments, and he was like, "Yo, that's fire," and he started following me. You know what I'm saying? And this was like 2 months before the tournament or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that line that he gravitated towards, the line was basically, I said some shit like uh I was like, some shit about like red dripping down your neck. You a bottle of Maker's Mark or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Razor blade to your throat, then I follow it straight across. Now red dripping down your neck. You a bottle of Maker's Mark or some shit. So, um, I had actually taken those lines once I got into the tournament and repurposed them, and then wrote new shit around it because I wanted Mick to hear that and be like, "Oh, this is this motherfucker from like 2 months ago." Like
yeah.
this and he's in the tournament, you know what I'm saying? And it worked, you know
He
what I'm
probably
saying?
he remembered. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, like eventually he did, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if like in that moment, but I think later on he was like, wait, time out. Why this line sounds so familiar? You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, so but yeah, so crazy, crazy story, man. Crazy time.
And I'm gonna spoil this
Yo,
one, but I one of the things I found interesting is like you had like 80
yeah,
followers, and then
bro,
after what Lupe said, and you woke up to like 2,000
bro,
or
like
some shit like that.
yo, man, after the Lupe shit, bro, my phone was just my phone was going off, man. Like that whole night, cause when it ended, you know what I'm saying? This was around like what time was it, man? And it was late, bro. It was like 11 at night or some shit, man. Almost like midnight or something, like 9, sorry, 10, 11, 12 or some shit like that. So after it ended, I put my phone down, man. My daughter was young at this point, bro. My daughter was like 4 months old or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I go to my daughter, I give her a kiss, and I remember telling her like, "Yo, man, like, yo, daddy did it, man." Mind you, she fucking like half asleep. She don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Yeah,
I give her a kiss on the forehead, man. I'm like, yo, daddy did it, man. Like,
big
fine.
deal,
I took
man.
Yeah, man. I took off the mask to kiss my daughter on the forehead and told her like your dad was victorious, man, through that entire gauntlet, yo. And it was a very emotional moment. It was very yeah, it was very, very powerful moment for me, man. You know what I'm saying? But so going back to that, I put my phone down, man. I didn't even know. I think it said take off the mask now. It's crazy. Yo, son, shut the cat up. But yo, so I didn't check my phone the rest of that night. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't check my shit for the rest of the night. I put it down, and I kind of basked in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And then when I woke up the next day, it was literally just like bling, 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 shit, just like this person fired, this person fired,
Crazy.
this person fired, the whole day, like all day, and then finally stabilized. It stopped around like maybe like 23, 24. Close to like 2,500 followers. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, what the fuck? And
It's hard to get followers these days,
what,
Dad. Like, is that's not an easy fucking
bruh?
task, man. You
Like,
know?
who you telling,
Yeah,
bro? And
yeah,
especially with me because it's like I don't post content regularly, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm not really And I know they tell you, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, you got to be active, so you got to post your content, you got to have a certain time, like this day or whatever. It's like, bro, I don't know, man. I'm just I just want to create, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really so good at the social media aspect of it, just because I'm so introverted. I'm so kind of like laid back.
The, bro, here's the crazy thing. You told me you're introverted, yet I saw you in studio on the BIS podcast. You seem comfortable,
Oh yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Tossing people up for 3 hours here. We're at the 2 hour
Oh
mark,
yeah,
bro. So I don't know where the introverted comes from, bro.
yeah. Nah, I mean, like, yeah. At the end of the day, man, like, I prefer just kind of like, I'm not really a going out motherfucker, man. I don't go to the club and lounges and shit like that.
Right,
You know,
right.
I do enjoy it when I do go out though. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it wrong. I'm introverted, but I'm also socially comfortable, man. Like, I could go outside, I can
Yeah,
mingle with
yeah,
folks and shit like that. I'm not sitting there about to have a panic attack and twiddling my thumbs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I prefer. I'm a homebody, man. I prefer to be kind of home. I prefer to just work. I prefer to be with my daughter. And yeah. But when I'm around good company, man, like, when the vibes, when the vibes is good, man. When
Yeah.
you kicking it off and the chemistry is cool in the conversation. It's like, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely open, man. I'm very humorous. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of like the difference between uh me and well, you'll hear moments like that in my music too. Like, I definitely, if you listen to my shit, you hear some funny lines and some comedic witty shit. But a lot of my music too is like very, very dark, very serious. But it's like, bro, I'm very laid back, man. I'm mad
Yeah,
humorous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a good sense of humor. At least I feel like. Yeah.
yeah. So, I thought I wouldn't take you past the hour and a half mark. We're at 2 hours. I still got bars, but I want to check in. How's everyone doing, man? Is everyone
Oh
still
yeah,
feeling the
man.
interview? You
Yeah,
want us to keep going?
people still in here, man. Yeah, they
It's crazy,
tapped,
man.
they tapped in, bro.
All
For
right,
sure.
man. So look, man. I saw some of your bigger collabs.
Mhm.
One that caught my attention was King Crooked, Locksmith, Jr.
Ooh.
Produced by Aloe 8. By the way, Aloe 8, I'd been DMing him my interviews for like months, bro. Okay, and he's like telling me how dope they are. We're talking about hip hop. I didn't even realize he was making music until I researched this interview, and I'm like, this was produced by him. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? So, how did that come together, and how did that feel, man? I assume this is all off the momentum of the Bars app. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely. So
So,
yeah, brother. So Aloe was like one of the first people to reach out to me after the tournament. You know what I'm saying? And funny story is, like, I heard a track that Mickey Fax did during, like, I want to say maybe like the semifinals of the tournament or something like that, or a little bit before. And there was this track he was on, and it's on DSPs. You know what I'm saying? People know it now as like Filtered Soul. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to Goat Talk, Cook Risk. Yeah, but this track, it was called Filtered Soul. You know what I'm saying? It was on the Arachnid album. You know what I'm saying? That Arachnid song is on.
crazy,
And
crazy lineup on that album.
yeah,
I haven't heard it, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Sorry, go.
watch how the universe works, man. Watch how crazy this is. So I hear the song that Mickey Fax is on, and I'm like, yo, this beat is crazy. I'm like, yo, whose fucking beat is this? And then, so fast forward after the tournament, I'm chopping it up with Aloe. You know what I'm saying? And Aloe was like, yo, I'd love to work with you, blah blah blah. He ended up sending me a couple of tracks. You know what I'm saying? And one of the tracks was the shit that I heard Mickey Fax on. That same beat that I was like, who beat is this? Come to find out it's Aloe.
Mm,
And then he's like, yo, I'd love for you to be on this. And I'm like, wow, the same song that I heard earlier in the tournament type shit. Like, this is crazy how the universe works. But going to the Arachnid joint, that shit was a challenge, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, I ain't never rapped fast before that shit like that. Like, that style that I utilized on that track, bro, I've never done that before.
it was kind of
Yeah, it was
double
kind
time, no?
of double time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basically double time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, um, I never did that shit before, not recorded. I mean, yeah, I might have been on the block or something like that with some friends smoking and just, running again into something, just fucking around or whatever. But
Yeah.
I never, I never wrote like that. I never wrote
Yeah.
that type of dope. out before that track. That was my first time ever doing that. So um I remember at one point when he sent the beat, I would and mind you, that's my first time ever doing that shit. And I'm on a track with two fucking legends who
Crazy.
mastered that style. Like I'm on there with Locksmith, fucking Crooked.
I comfortably say you took it, and the fact you were close. How the hell did you close that? You were the closer.
Yeah,
That's
I
like a
think,
statement, bro.
and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, man. I think it just boiled down to like I wanted it more because like
Truth.
it meant
Right.
more
Right.
to
Right.
me, in the sense of like with Crooked Eye and Locksmith. That's a fucking Tuesday for them, man. It's a regular Tuesday for them, man. For me, it was like, bro, this is Saturday. This is the fucking playoffs. Like, it's go home
Yeah.
or get
Yeah.
cooked back with Crooked Eye and Locksmith. You know what I'm saying? So, at first, I wasn't going to do the track because I was just kind of like, yo, this is a little bit outside of what I normally do. But I seen it as a challenge, and I was like, bro, there are moments in life where um greatness is going to stem from you stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's the only way that you're going to kind of break that ceiling and break some of those fears that you have or limitations that you place on yourself. In order for you to grow as an artist, you got to shatter that shit and step outside of your comfort zone and try. You have to be uncomfortable, bro. You got to put yourself.
I I'm repost. This is gonna be a
Salute.
promo clip. I'm gonna cut this. So keep going.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to be uncomfortable, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you have to. There are gonna be moments where you just got to do it, and if not, then you'll never really flourish.
Yeah.
You'll just remain in the same, doing the same thing at the same level. You'll never elevate past that. You know what I'm saying? So in order for you to just continue growing, man, you just gotta put yourself in. Look what I did with the tournament. Like
Yeah.
that's certain shit that I'm like I normally wouldn't do. I did it.
Br-
What happened? So like,
Bro, me doing these interviews, not to brag about my interviews, but
right,
like
right,
if you told me 3 years ago I'd be talking to fucking MCs
right.
for 3 hours, I'd be like, you
Like,
fucking
got it.
crazy, bro?
Right.
Like,
And,
you know what I'm saying?
and look, brother,
Yeah.
exactly. We live in proof to that, man. That like, bro, just try it. Try new shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And see what happens. You know what I mean? So take
Yeah.
chances, bro. Roll the dice, man. You
Yeah,
know?
man. Yeah. So here's a comment from that track on YouTube from some person like, okay, I've been a huge fan of King Crooked and Locksmith, and they killed it like always. But who was that last dude, Vega7 The Ronin? I've never heard of him, and I know about everyone pretty much. That's dope. He went universal with that verse, whatever that means. But yeah,
Damn.
that's dope, to read shit like that, right?
Look, man, that man said I went Dr. Manhattan on that motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah,
Little
yeah.
brother, yeah,
So
crazy, son. Yeah,
so I wanted to ask you, like, if there was, do you ever think of like one rapper or a couple rappers that you're like, you know what, if I can model my career after this rapper, like their path, their level of success, like I'd be cool with that. Like, is there a rapper that you think in your head, like, man, if I could just do it like that, I'm good?
yeah, man. Like um, yeah, I'm a very simple dude, man, in the sense of like, you know, I don't, I don't really need the Maybach and all that other shit, man. I mean, like, yeah, you'll hear me pop shit in my music or something where I'm like, yo, I need the Wraith with the something. But like realistically in real life, man, I'm a very simple dude, man. Like, um, I don't really need to, you know, make hundreds of millions of dollars and be, you know what I'm saying, where, Drake and J. Cole and all and but also I don't make that type of music, you know what I'm saying? And it's like if I wanted to be at that level, then I would make the necessary adjustments
Mm,
to that level, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy with um it's a blessing to just put out my music and make money off of my music and for people to gravitate towards my art. Um, and I think this is something that people don't realize as well is that like you don't need a lot of people, bro. Like you don't need 50,000 followers and shit in order for you to sustain yourself off of your craft. If you could get shit 500 to 1,000 people that like really fuck with your art and really support you, you could make a living off of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a service that you provide. Um, and they allow you to, make a living and pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Keep the lights on and shit like that, and also money to invest back into your art and back into your craft. It's a cycle, so you could continue to present said art to people. So you don't need to be this big 200K following blue check kind of dude, and like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I look at certain artists like like Willie the Kid, you know what I'm saying? Rock Moss, Action Bronx, that kind of lane, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
doing it big,
That's doing it
man. That,
big, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
not as big as like, for instance, like I said, like a Kendrick or a Drake or a J. Cole, but at the same time, like these are very respected MCs that are I look at them like this, right? I look at them like they're like underground A-list motherfuckers, man. They're like the Hollywood of the underground in a
Do,
sense. Like,
do, do you think you have to make any adjustments to the way you do things to get to like an Action Bronson level, or like, do you think there's any adjustments you have to make?
I think it's tricky to say, but I'm gonna say this. I think the main focus is that you have to find out how to tap into your demographic, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you have to make there's all and this is another thing too. Like when people talk about underground, a lot of people talk about just like a particular sound. You know what I'm saying? Like there's motherfuckers in the underground that sound like Scissor, man. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Make it like that. It's not just limited to the shit that we're a part of. You know what I'm saying? Which is a lot closer to like the essence, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I don't think there's any adjustments that I need to make. I think it's more so just the case of like just concentrate your forces. Find out who your target demographic is and find a way to get your music to them. I think
yeah,
the only way people really fall short of that is not gathering enough of a consistent supporter. I don't like saying fans and shit, but yeah, fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get two people from here, you might get three people from over there. I think I look at it this way. So, like, let's say that Action Bronson and Rock and all of them, right? Let's say that they have a million followers or some shit. Like real
right.
and realistically, it's like the amount of followers that you have on Instagram, that ain't your real following. You know what I'm saying?
No, no.
If you got 20,000 followers, how many of those people actually engage with your shit on a daily basis? How many of those people actually support your art, whether it's listening to it on
Oh,
streaming?
how many are opening their wallet?
How many are
You know,
opening a wallet? You know what I'm saying? Which is a direct link to supporting, you know what I'm saying, your art. So like, how many of those people do that out of that? Take that percentage, and then you gotta split that in half, and then be like, well, how out of how many of them consistently do so, or how many of
yeah,
them just done it maybe one time or something like that? Then you can get your true following and your true supporter base, and
yeah.
get a good idea.
I I just want to say, like, to start to, not to give you your flowers. I mean, you got a journey ahead of you, I'm sure, right? But bro, in my mind, like, if you think of like in a block anywhere in North America, how many rappers are there? People that rap and post shit on the internet. Like,
Right.
you're in the top 1% of people that are like selling your art. People are watching you, flocking to you. Your vinyls are pretty much sold out, right? Like your CD, I checked, right?
Right.
Like, bro, like, you're already like, you know what I'm
Man.
saying? You should pat yourself on the back if you have it.
You know
That's
what I'm
all I want
saying?
to say. You know what I mean? So,
It's right there.
so
Yeah, man.
yeah,
So
man.
I appreciate you, brother. Yeah. But nah, just lastly, man, I was just gonna say, if you don't think that there's a million people out there that listen to this type of shit, you're out of your mind. Like you can be as successful as that if you strategize properly, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's all about, like I said, it's all about getting your music to them and making an impact on them. Because even more so than the music, people gravitate towards your brand and your personality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
People fall in love with that first before, yeah, yeah, sure, the music can reel them in. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be the music that keeps them. It's going to
No.
be it's going to be the brand. It's going to be how you put yourself out there. Other things that they can attach themselves to and be like, yo, I fuck with this dude. I like this dude. You know what I'm saying? Because the music is just one part of it. The music is just one aspect of it.
So,
But yes, it's possible.
so
That's the answer to your question. It's just if you
yeah,
put the
you're
right
true, but bro, look, I interview a lot of people. Okay, I don't focus on numbers. My most listened to artist last year, dude named Jigsaw Paul. This guy drops and disappears. He's a genius. He's
oh,
got like 300 followers, bro.
I
So
gotta check them
I
out, bro.
I
Yeah,
I'll link you to one of his like crazy albums, right? But
yeah.
what was my point,
Shout
bro?
out to Shotty too, man, for you putting me on the Shotty
Oh,
305. He's
Shawty's one of my
yeah,
favorites.
brother.
I hope you guys
Very
collab, bro. He's
yeah,
making noise. His pen is like simple language, but the wordplay is like sophisticated. Like it's simple, but it's layered and like
yeah,
to
yeah,
me he's won the lottery with the way he writes, bro.
yeah, bro.
So in my
He's
opinion, you know what
elite.
I'm
He's
saying?
elite, bro, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. I guess so. What was my point about Jigsaw Paul? Yeah, I don't focus on numbers, but bro, not everyone has it. Some people need to work harder. Some people need more talent, but not everyone has both, bro. Where you're sitting, not everyone can do it, in my opinion. I talk to a lot of artists, and some I get the sense they're gonna go somewhere.
yeah,
Not that I'm an expert, but some the formula is just like all around is not there.
yeah,
So
yeah, for
salute to
sure.
you, bro. Is what I'm
Thank you,
saying.
brother.
So
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like they all just trying to make it, man. We all just trying to make it with what we got, man. And
Yeah.
it's sad that it's like not everybody gonna make it. Not everybody gonna get there, man. You know?
So Mickey Diamond again. Salute to this podcast. You guys
So,
should check it out. Was a
the
great
time,
podcast.
yeah,
From there, I learned that Mickey Diamond was the first underground artist to shout you out and like say, "Yo, this guy's fire."
yeah, yeah,
That's truth, right?
yeah.
Um, if you had to pick one artist today, like no homie shit, like just because they're homies, if you had to pay it forward today and shout someone out, like who would that be? Like that deserves a little more recognition for their artistry and what they bring to
Mm.
the table.
So shit. So I'm gonna say this, right? So besides my brothers, you know what I'm saying? Besides my family, my guys or whatever, and also, I mean, bro, if you tapped into this scene in any level, you know who Diamond is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know the man, bro. The man is. I've already talked about this in the best as far as like the run that he was on, work ethic, and like, bro, he's at the top of the food chain, man. That man is elite, no question. You know what I'm saying? Um, but as far as like somebody that I feel like could get more shine, and deserves to be up there with those names that are mentioned and shit. Man, like yo, shit, man, Josiah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Josiah,
right.
like you know, that dude, his structure is insane. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier in the interview, man, I've always been a fan of structure, bro, and I remember studying like Freeway, son. I know a lot of people don't like his voice, and you know what I'm saying? I get it, it's subjective. This whole art form is subjective. But like there was something about Freeway's style and the way he was structuring his shit where the first bar rhyme with the third, and then the
Mm-hmm.
fourth and fifth rhyme with the second, but the sixth rhyme with the first and third. I'm like, what the fuck is this is like a different level of chemistry, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then learning about internals, learning about other little things like that, where the outsides of the bar rhyme, but the insides of the bar like sandwich cookie shit. So I always been a fan of that type of stuff, like real unorthodox structures and shit like that and approaches. And then hearing Josiah reminded me of like those days of like what made me love Freeway style. You know what I'm saying? What made me kind of like really like he's one of my favorite artists to this day, man. I know a lot of people wouldn't imagine that shit.
Freeway.
Yeah, Freeway for sure. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And like yeah, that's the same elements of that I got from Josiah, bro. Like Josiah sounds like nobody's doing what he does structurally on the scene. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
got gotta fully tap in. I've glossed over his music again. I'm late to the current underground scene, but I
He
definitely
he
gotta tap in
he does,
properly with what he's
yeah,
doing.
he does this whole kind of like over the margin type shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's very like you don't know when the fuck he really gonna end the line. Very unpredictable. Also, Jamil, man, Jamil, honesty, man.
I
There's other.
I, I got I got an interview with him.
Oh
We
yeah,
just
yeah,
locked in an interview, man. I'm gonna go through all of his material.
yeah. There's
Be
other names,
fun.
man. You know what I'm saying? Like substance is another dude. You know, it's other names, man. I could go on and on. There's like 10 other names I could name. I'll probably save for other interviews, but for the sake of time constraints and all of that, those two, man. Jamil Honesty is without a doubt one of the most technical pens in this scene to me, man. The shit that he's doing is masterful. I've seen this dude hop on tracks with people and like decimate them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's deadly as hell. His projects, the Martyr music joints. And shit, I think he got a third one. He about to drop. He dropping soon, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on there.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the cat out the bag, man.
Ho-
But like,
hopefully I could coincide with the
yeah,
interview, get a little
I'm
more
on,
popping. You know what
I,
I'm saying? So,
yeah, I'm on one of them tracks. Oh, Grips, man. Yes, bro. This is what I'm saying. I could go on and on, bro. Shout out my
all
brother.
right.
Grips is insane, bro. Like that's another name. This dude is like one of
I
the
I, I just caught some of his clips
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
He's on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But like yeah, those are just a few names, man. You know what I'm saying? Out of like the
Dope, dope.
names.
So
Man.
so want to talk about your writing process for a second. We're coming close to the end, I promise.
Nah,
Um,
yeah, we gonna do a part two at some point, man. Don't worry about it, brother. Whatever
I,
we don't.
I, I hope that Instagram saves this shit
Yeah.
and it doesn't like disappear. I've heard if it's too long, but if you're here, you caught a classic, an
Look,
instant classic. You know what I'm saying? We'll all remember at minimum. So your writing process, like I'm just gonna ask you flat out, what do you think allows you to link these words and syllables together in a way most people can't? Like you just rap different, bro. Like I'm gonna leave it to you. Like, why do you think you're able to rap in
mm,
a way that not a lot of people are able to get where you're at?
shit, give me 1 second, brother. Hold up, real quick. Um, I think uh I think once again it just goes back to those formative years, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where I choose to place a lot. You look, bro, you gotta look at some of the people I was listening to, man. It's like when you listen to elites and you study elites since you were like 14, 15, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be a little different, man. I'm growing up listening to cannabis. I'm growing up listening to jazz.
No, but a lot of people are, bro.
Of course, but like
That's how it is.
of course, but like yo,
Right?
like I I I I truly believe that like I just work harder. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
a
And I've worked
for that.
harder. Like bro, like if y'all took 10,000 shots in the gym, I took 50,000, man. You know what I'm saying? Like bro, like
Right.
I don't think y'all really understand
Okay.
how
That's what it is.
consumed I was with this in the sense of, bro, they were it was a regular thing for me to be up till 6, 7 in the morning and going to sleep at 7 in the morning writing and just like sitting there and writing. To this day, I have and I mentioned it before, like bro, I have an archive in my phone that you can scroll. If I combined all of them, it'd probably take you like 15 minutes to just roll through all of this
Okay.
lines that I've never
I, I
used.
I'm gonna give you a warning right now, a friendly
Yeah.
warning. You know, when I interviewed Mickey Diamond,
Mhm.
as many albums as he put out in 2023, he lost his phone, and he said he could have had even more albums.
I'm
So
sure. I'm
find a
sure.
way to save that shit somehow, bro.
Hey, yo, man, that's an unfortunate fucking situation, but I think that goes to show how ill that dude is in the sense of, yo, he could lose a phone of shit that
Yeah,
he has and still drop 10 albums. That's madness, bro. That just goes to show, I mean, like certain people built for this shit, man, and certain people aren't. I think, like I said, I think it just comes down to how passionate I was about it, the people I was studying, and I mean, bro, it's just it's one of those things where it's like, bro, you either born to do this or you not. And some motherfuckers is just the way my brain works. Um, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm a savant or no shit, but like the way my brain works, I kind of it's hard for me to like really focus on certain things, and I be jumping from topic, jump to this topic, and then I fucking once I find something I'm interested in, like I take that shit all the way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's kind of a combination of all those things. And like I said, how my brain operates just biologically, I think my brain was just engineered to attack the English language this way. You know what I'm saying? I was always a good writer. I was the last thing I'm gonna say. I was
Eh, eh,
no,
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was always a good writer, like in elementary school and shit like that. Like, bro, like I was an exceptional fucking essay writer and things like that, and won my school spelling bee in like sixth grade. And so I don't know, I just have a thing for language, bro, that I think gives me a hell of an advantage when it comes to
Absolutely. In the language department, for sure. Um, and I take it you've never stopped. Like for me, I started writing when I was like 8 or 9, like, funny stuff, like Two Life Crew shit. I'm, from the 80s. I was a little kid.
yeah.
Then like I would stop and then like start again and stop. But it sounds like the key is you've continued straight. You've never stopped.
Yeah, I
Is
never
it?
did. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Dope,
No, I'm
dope.
lying. I took a year off one time. That was like
Yeah.
18, my 18th year. I took the whole year off, but that's really about it.
Right, right, right. So, how would you describe your writing process? And like, what's the ideal setting for you to write in? Is there an
All
ideal or?
right, so all right, so outside of working on like those same conceptual joints that you're talking about, or if I'm working on something that's kind of like a story, or just something specific, my usual writing style, um, 90% of the time, 80% of the time is I write my multis. You know what I'm saying? So for those people that don't know what that is, like the ending part of the rhyme, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna take her name for instance, like cook grits, hook fish, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, so I write that first. You know what I'm saying? I'll write like, Reggie Miller, Machete Killer, and all that shit. Like I'll write, um, and that's another thing
just,
to
just cool sounding multis.
right. So that's another thing to answer your question is that I trained different. And I think that really came into play with, I guess why I'm more advanced or whatever is I train different. So you can work hard but not smart. I think with me, I put a lot of focus on multis. And I'm talking about like I'm able to rap 100 bars off of the same rhyme scheme and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I've had multiple songs where like listen to Enterprise and it's the same rhyme scheme for the entire song. But that's how I trained. I've trained to like take Reggie Miller and rhyme 90 fucking things that rhyme with Reggie Miller. And then what I will do is I will then take that and then I'll start linking it when it comes to creating the song process. I'll take some of those
That,
multis and then
that's
locking
crazy.
them together.
So,
Yeah,
so you connect them thought wise and
yeah.
conceptually after
Yeah.
that. I've never heard of that. I mean,
So I create
that's crazy.
Yeah, I create the bridge. So I'll like take Reggie Miller and Machete Killer, and then I'll just be like, okay, well, how can I bridge these? Like, how can I make these two a coherent sentence? You know what I'm saying?
I, I, I
Oh,
I remember when I first learned to write punchlines, like in the Lloyd Banks era, and I realized that, oh, you just get the punchline first, and then you make the
right,
rhymes after. But
right,
what you're saying is a little bit different. It's like you're laying out a series of like
right. And
uh, multi-syllable rhymes, and then you're turning it into something that
yeah,
makes sense. That's
it's like
crazy.
jiggle shit. Yeah, and then a whole system for how I'll choose the quote unquote haymaker bar. Like, what's going to be the fourth bar? What's gonna
Right.
Yeah, so I have a whole system with that I kind of stick to. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy. Yeah. Um, What about, okay, now we're gonna get nerdy, man. I
Oh,
found, I think my show is so nerdy at times, but then I meet like real like MCs that are about this shit, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just take it there. For me, a big thing I used to do is I'd like write 4 bars at a time, perhaps, and then I'll rearrange them like a roller coaster ride. Like, what's the best experience,
Mm.
sequence wise, and like taking their mind through imagery and shit. Like, what makes sense in what sequence?
Oh,
So I'd rearrange this. Do you do shit like that too?
shit, not quite that. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're describing is you writing 4 lines and then kind of like, what if I say this third line first and then I take this second line, like shit like that?
Or what if I say these 4 bars? Let me say those first and these
Oh,
second. Like it just makes more sense. Like logically, that the shit I'm spitting is like a story, not a story, but it's in a logical sequence.
right. Absolutely. So yeah, without really expanding in that and
Yeah,
and doing some explanation,
yeah,
it's there's certain weird quirky shit that I do, man, where I might take um the eighth line and then be like, yo, let me make this the second line because if I bump this up into Q, it'll make sense naturally
yeah,
for if I take this
yeah,
and make this one the eighth instead. Then I'm gonna replace due to the fact that now that I changed that order, the third one's not really gonna make all the best sense. I need to move the third line to the ninth line. Hell yeah, bro. Like I do all of that. But the good news is that I don't sit around for like 6 hours and be like, how do I, you know what I'm saying? Usually when I'm writing
yeah,
a verse, the hardest part for me, or the most difficult part, it's not really difficult, but let's just say it's the most difficult part, is the multi shit. Getting that out of the way and then kind of being like, all right, these are the ones I want, this how blah blah blah. And then bridging them, I've done it for so long that it's you
it's
know,
child's play. It's
yeah,
child's
yeah,
play.
I guess. You know what I'm saying? You can say that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm so used to doing it that I
Yeah,
think what would be more difficult is me writing linear, like me writing like the line and then
I was
line.
never able to really do
Yeah,
that.
that
Yeah.
shit might be more difficult for me. The only way it wouldn't be difficult is if I'm writing a story or a conceptual joint. That's a
See,
little different. But
I would imagine Tupac wrote
yeah,
linear. I would
yeah,
imagine.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh, for sure,
saying?
for sure, for
It's
sure.
different. It's a
Would have no
different.
reason to be like,
Yeah.
all right, Hennessy and then the enemies and then yeah,
Yeah.
no reason.
No, no, no. He's just speaking from the heart,
It's
right?
all
Just
yeah, it's all
letting it
feelings.
go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, no,
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, man. Your shit is layered. Like, and one thing that you mentioned, for example, in
my
Maudit,
body.
if I said right,
Yes,
the
sir.
first, the last bars on that led into the first bars of the Lead Line Wall. Again, I learned this from the Biz podcast.
Yeah.
I like to give credit, right?
Uchiwa was I no moto. Yeah, yeah.
What makes you decide to go the extra mile? You know what I mean? Today, that's over most people's heads. Most people won't get it. They could just hear your crazy wordplay and just be amazed at that. What possesses you to go the extra mile? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it
I'm just I'm I'm just a nerd, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I always been into yeah, I'm just a nerd, bro. I love shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, man, this links with this and this and it goes back to my writing style and how I like for certain things to like, like callbacks kind of thing.
right?
Yo, he referenced his second album on the fifth album I doing, you know what I'm saying?
It's wild, man.
Yeah,
I could never do shit like that when I
yeah, I
was
love
active.
it like
So
that. And I just I'm gonna say this, man. Like my goal isn't to be the best, just because I mean, like, there's so many, bro. This cats like Cambada, you know what I'm saying? There's cats like some of the MCs we mentioned earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like Ill Conscious, and Jamil Honesty, and Sub, and all these people. Um, it's always there's always somebody out there that can rap better than you from a whatever technical standpoint. They're better artists.
mm,
They got a better delivery than you. They what
something. There's something that you can't be the best at everything.
right. You can't be the best at
Yeah.
everything. So like my goal ain't to be the best, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if people place me there, salute. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the goal is when the smoke is cleared, however long my career goes on for, however long the Lord sees fit to bless me, man. I want people to say, yo, that dude right there, he was one of one. You know what I'm saying? Like he was unique. There was no replacement for him. Like
I think that's what every artist
yeah,
should gun for. Because like when you try to be one of one and like you go in your own lane, I feel like people are like, how does he do that? Well, he's being him to the nth
Yeah,
degree. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you
Oh,
off. You know what I
nah.
mean?
You good, brother. Like,
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's a dialogue, not a monologue. You know what I'm saying? So like, I love
That's when hip hop is at its best. When you hear something like it's like they're talking their own language almost. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly,
And it's working. It's hitting. You know what I mean?
exactly, brother. Yeah, like I think you fuck up by trying to do what homie's doing over here because
Yeah.
he's seeing moderate success with it, and you go and try to let me copy the formula. That may go well, but oftentimes it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And you need to find a way. I say this right, so everybody gets a blueprint from somewhere. You know, we can all front and act like, ain't no, we not inspired. Nobody inspired us to do this shit or whatever. And we didn't pick up inspirations along the way or whatever. I think I was talking about this earlier, where I think it's the cool thing for people to be like, yo, son, nah, I don't listen to none of these cats and they don't exist to me. And like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody want to be the
Sure.
person that's just like, they got the horse blinders on and nobody else exists or whatever. But I'm gonna say this, the goal with hip hop, I think, is to take the blueprint from somewhere, but then add on shit from your own self. So you can take, let's say, all right, so Shad K, let's take Shad K, Elzai, and Nas and Cannabis, right? Combine them into a pot, right? Those are my blueprints, right? But me utilizing those blueprints, now I've created a new blueprint by taking elements of their style and making it into my own shit, and then
That
adding shit from myself. I was just saying this last part, adding shit from myself. Now I'm giving that blueprint back to, you have to give something back to the culture, man. You know what I'm saying? Something different.
you have to bring something to the, and that's the thing. Like I turned down a lot of interviews. I'm going to be honest
Mm-hmm.
because I've been listening to hip hop since the '80s. I've heard all the words, almost not all of them. I need to hear new. I'm a wordplay junkie.
Yeah.
Like I made a post the other day. Like to me, wordplay is even more important than flow. Flow's critical,
Mm-hmm.
but like if you have a nice flow, but you don't have unique wordplay, bro, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not interested. If I heard it all, I'm on to the net. I'm not interested.
Right.
So that's what I don't know if you feel the same way,
Um,
but
it's like at times, because I also understand that, like, but that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of this art form, is that it's subjective and different people look for different elements.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm weird. I'm kind of weird.
Nah,
My standard,
I,
but yeah, yeah.
I tend to fall into that same category myself. But there are times when I'm kind of just like, sometimes I want to do, because at the end of the day, it's still music, right?
Yeah.
So there has to be some level of musicality to
No,
what you're doing.
I absolutely. If it's just like you sound like a
Yeah,
computer, I'm
yeah.
not listening. All I'm saying
No,
is, if you have a beautiful flow and you rap triple
but you're not
time,
enough in type
but
shit.
you don't got words that are like
Right, right.
interesting, I don't fuck with it.
But
That's me.
but it's
You know what I'm saying?
right, for sure. And I agree with that. It's like, yo, with me sometimes, yeah, there are times where I do want to listen to something where it's like I kind of just want to vibe out, man. I don't really want to like,
Truth. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but nah, I get both sides of the equation, man. And that's what makes the art form so dope, is that there's there's shit for everybody, bro. Like, do you want to hear this more science or more technical shit, or do you just want to vibe out? You know what I'm saying? But
It,
I say this, I can't just vibe out all the fucking time. Like, I can't just be like, all right, man. Like, you gotta. And the thing is, like, I always find myself coming back to this, coming back to like, bro, you gotta be.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I,
I just love the sound.
the thing is, like, I'm not even talking lyrical miracle. I'm saying take two simple words that haven't been rhymed before,
Mm,
make it interesting.
right, right,
Don't. I'm not saying be scientific. Just throw a couple twists in there every
right.
for
So,
something. You know what I mean?
so,
Like
so,
that's me, anyways. But
so,
yeah. Uh, yeah, man. So one second here.
no, you
So
good.
I wanted to ask you this. Do you ever struggle to write simple rhymes? Like to me, I imagine your brain is like 1,000 horsepower engine. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Where you just tap on the gas and you're fucking off to the races. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
do
yeah.
you struggle to write simple rhymes, like one syllable rhymes, like
Um,
or
I'm gonna say, like, my brain won't allow me, man. You know. And like my
I know what you're saying. So
my brain
go ahead, go ahead.
my brain will not allow me to create one syllable joints. Like I can't do it. Like I can't just rhyme back with cat and that's all right with me. Like it's just it won't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you stay on, man. Like if you can find a way to do the one syllable shit and make it interesting, I'm all ears, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all ears. But me personally, I I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's
It's hard to
yeah,
justify it, right? Like it's hard to justify
that's
it.
that's even on tracks where I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, solve a Rubik's cube on here, but and it's more focused on the vibe. But it's like
Right.
there's a certain level I can't allow myself to go below. Even on joints where I'm laid back and I'm chilling, I'm still, you know, yeah, I'm still trying to rap some dope shit. But I'm gonna say, yeah, I just can't. This also, I'm a very, I grade multis very tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grade MCs based off of like the degree of difficulty with the syllables they use. You know what I'm saying? So if I find myself too often kind of feeling like I can predict the next multi and then the line after that I predicted the next multi, it's
Yeah, that's horrible.
or I'm kind of just like I look at it this way where it's like you take a multi, right? And it's like hole, let's say hole in one, like in golf, right? Like hole in one. And then I'm like, watch, he gonna say holding guns, some shit. And then the next
Yeah,
line is
yeah,
holding
yeah,
guns.
yeah, yeah.
Then it's like, nah, bro, you
No.
ain't really that elite like that, man. You kind of elementary
It,
with your shit. Or
if I can predict four of your bars in a
yeah, I
row, I'm done.
can't fuck,
That's
bro.
literally my standard. I'm done.
Or catch that do the thing where it's kind of like the it's like the I'm trying to come up with an example like something man we back nigga sprayed or something with the gat nigga my boy was on the block selling crack nigga and it's like it's to you using the same end word out of laziness and I get it it's like a sometimes it could create a dope vibe and
Yeah,
dope atmosphere
it's catchy,
but
catchy.
yeah but if that's most of your shit it's just like I'm good bro you know
I,
what
I,
I'm saying like
I used to be stuck in the multis. I'm not. I talk like I'm active. I'm
right for
not active anymore. But who changed my mind is Jay Z,
yeah
because he would throw in these one syllables. Like I can't even quote. Like I can't remember. But like so eloquently stated, and then get back to like some fancier wordplay. Like it sounds organic, like a
right
person's talking. When it's always multis, it sounds like a
yeah
computer unless you change up your
yeah
patterns all the
yeah
time. But Jay Z is a master of like the one syllable. But so I there was a period of time I tried to force myself like do a one syllable. God damn it,
yeah
just
yeah
somewhere. You know what I'm
yeah
saying? But
I think yeah Jay definitely adopted that like a little bit later on in his career where he was a bit more relaxed from all of the like real scientific shit that he was doing on like Black Album Blueprint where he was multi-syllable in and shit like that like later on in his career is when he kind of was like let me chill a little bit you know what I mean and kind of focus on but still kept the was still able to paint vivid pictures and
yeah,
still maintain that level of lyricism in the sense of conveying whatever it is he's trying to convey, just not so much focused on
yeah.
some of the technicalities. And that's difficult. That's
That
difficult to
that's
do.
why I hold Shoddy 305. You guys in very high regard
Yeah,
for
that's
these
difficult.
precisely those reasons.
Yeah, because usually
Uh,
once the science is taken away, it's like the overall shit can suffer.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's rare that you find that.
Do do you struggle listening to other artists? Like for me, I used to like listen to like two songs and then like get back to comparing it to my shit. Like that's
Mhm,
I'm so much of a better fan now
mhm,
that I stopped writing. I'm
mhm.
enjoying hip hop
Yeah,
more
right.
than I have after ever. Like, but like I would break down every verse I heard on my head and like
Yeah.
patterns in the air and like. Are you able to just enjoy other people's music, or are
I
you?
I imagine it's like when you work at Home Depot,
Yeah,
every time you gotta go into Home Depot for some shit, it's not really that enjoyable, man. Because it reminds you of like, bro, I gotta come back in this bitch Monday, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like when you finally leave, shit, now you could pick up some of them damn paint screws and shit where you like, ah, all right, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like I'm
Yeah,
glad I
yeah,
don't work here now. Now I'm a civilian again. Like, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I
That's how I
my
feel.
little type shit. Yeah, so
Yeah, man.
yeah, for sure. But I think with me though, it goes back to what I'm saying with the sending my horses out sending my scouts out on horseback. I want to know what the fuck people are up to. Yo, bro, it's a law of power to where it's like exile is dangerous, man. Like for
Yeah,
you to not keep your
yeah.
ear to the streets and know what's going on around you. Many a king was taken out because he didn't know what was that mutiny
It,
was going on around him within his
it,
castle. Like,
it's an interesting tension you got to
yeah,
maintain and like doing your own thing and like
yeah,
right. So so look, I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions and we're done. The discography part, that's for part two, man. Like you'll put out a couple projects.
oh yeah.
Hopefully, I've earned the right to chop up with you
Oh
again.
nah, man. It's
You know what I'm
all
saying?
love, brother. I love what you're doing with this platform, man. I love just the genuine authenticity of you actually being like interested in your guests, man. And you not just out here just like, yo, let me try to get who's most popping or like
Nah,
you actually have a
I've
passion.
turned some pretty big names down,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, nah, and I got the utmost respect, man, for you and how you putting your brand out there and your platform, man. When I say I'm honored, I mean it, man. I'm honored to be on here.
That's
For
amazing.
sure.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, brother.
Thank you, bro. So, wanted to ask you live shows. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone. I'll be honest. I performed live 5, 6 times.
Right,
I never like on a stage setting.
right,
I never got fully comfortable.
right.
I'm gonna be honest. Do you like performing live? Are you a
I'm gonna be
performer
honest, man.
like that? Or
Yeah, I've performed before, you know what I'm saying? But I think especially with the aesthetic of the type of music that I'm making and the art that I'm putting forward, man, like I kind of for um prefer for listeners to hear me with me not present, man. You know what I'm saying?
that's fair.
It's one of those things where it's like my shit is so imaginative that it's like I want you to just kind of like I want people to listen to my shit like in a damn room, in a dark room, just by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Just listen, close your eyes and shit, and just picture the shit that I'm talking about. That it's like if you listen to me and you just watching me on a stage, well now it takes away that visual in a way for the type of at least that's for me.
No, I get what you're saying, man, and it's like it's interesting because some artists I'm not impressed at all when I hear their shit
Mhm.
recorded. Then I see them
And even
live and
live.
like it's a whole different and vice
Yeah,
versa.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
It's
I think,
yeah.
yeah, bro. I just think at this current point in time, I love the separation. I love um for people to listen to my music in isolation with me not around, man, so they can
That's
allow their
cool, man.
travel wherever they let it travel. You know what I'm saying? But
See,
that's not to say I
go ahead.
won't. You know what I'm saying? In the future, or you know what I'm saying?
No, but it's cool that you know what you want, right? 'Cause for me, I always felt I have to do this, I got to do
Right,
that. I'm not an artist if I
right,
don't do all of this, and
right.
like I got to I got to do graffiti too, or I'm not hip hop. You know what
So
I'm
you're not
saying?
hip
Like the
hop,
like
right?
the
If I don't be
yeah,
boys,
if you
then
don't
I ain't
do
hip hop and
graffiti,
shit. You
if
know
I
what I
can't
mean?
break that, you know what I'm saying? Like little things like that, you know.
Word, word.
But yeah, man. So look, here's my closing questions for you, bros. Here's the first one, and I'll give you the second
Yes,
one.
sir.
Um, bro, like you've got bigged up by Lupe Fiasco, Mickey Diamond, Mickey Fax. You've done your collabs with King Crooked, Locksmith. Like I'm sure there's others I didn't even dig up. Do
Yeah,
you
that's a
feel
hell
any
of a resume, man.
pressure,
My fault.
bro? Yeah,
That's like when you put it like that, yeah, that's just kind of
yeah.
crazy, man.
And by the way, Locksmith, he has some of the most poignant, if I said right, verses like I hear on Instagram, like the shit he's rapping about, man. Like
Yeah, bro.
he's really talking shit, bro. So
Tactician.
about real shit.
Yeah.
But one asks you, are you telling me you don't feel pressure at all? Like the way people look at you and your skill set, and like you got the skill set of a great. Like you're telling me you don't feel pressure?
Um. I think. I think I used to, man. You know, in the sense of like when I dropped after I dropped Lead Line Wall, I knew that the reception that I got back from it that I would have to follow up with something either equally as good or if not exceeding expectation. You know what I'm saying? Because that project, I put that out in March of 2022, and that ended up being many people's favorite album for the year at the end of the year. And I mean, that album got certain people talking about me, man, and being like, "Yo, who the fuck is this? Like, who is this
Right.
guy?" You know what I'm saying? So I knew that if the second album was like not good, that should have could have killed a lot of momentum for me. You know, so I knew at that point in time that I had to crush it again. You know, because it's like, yeah, cool, you did it once, nice, you know. And funny enough, Lupe said that in the tournament. That's a whole other story. But like, you could see somebody do something once. How many one hit wonders have we seen where they drop a crazy project and then they was never able to drop something on that level again? You know what I'm saying? So I knew that I couldn't just be this fluke that like had his one time in the sun. You know what I'm saying? So I felt pressure then, you know, where I was just like, man, I gotta keep this up and deliver. I think after that, it was more so about just pressure on my end, in the sense of like, can I put out shit that I am proud of, and things that I'm like, yeah, this album. I feel like as long as I please myself, and as long as sorry man, I just got a message from Copan. Yeah, man,
No worries.
that's just my fault. So like, I feel like as long as I meet my expectations, and I feel like the projects that I'm putting out, I'm proud of, and I'm like, damn, bro, this is something that like I like, me personally. You know what I'm saying? Then ain't no pressure, man, because as long as I'm meeting my standards is what got me here in the first place.
Yeah.
If I continue to meet those standards and shit, I can't fail, bro. Plus, also, it's like there's nothing that I've done before that I can't do again. You know, and that's any
What
song, man, that I've done.
what
I can do it again in some form. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
what's cool about doing these interviews is I talk to artists that are further along than I got, and I'm still fascinated with the grind, the art. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And one thing I realized, it's the mindset, like how you assess the situation, the decisions you make. You know what I mean? Not being hasty, like just having a head on your shoulders takes you far. That's one thing I didn't really realize being in my own like zone as an artist, is like
Right.
the way you look at things and handle I don't know if I'm
Nah,
getting off topic, but
nah, you
you got
good.
a level head. You know what I'm saying? And not everyone has it. Some people are all over the place, man. So,
Yeah.
salute to you on
Thank you,
that,
bro.
man. So,
It's easy
uh,
to get the hype, man. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like once you get lost in the sauce, it's like, bro, like that's when problems start popping up, man. And then your art suffers and all that other shit, man. It's you got to stay
yeah.
grounded, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the closer. Final
Like,
question, bro. How bad do you want this dream? How bad do you want to eat off of music?
man. Um,
Vega7 The Ronin.
yeah, man. I don't uh, uh I don't have any other gifts to this level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think. Like I said, I mentioned before, I've worked 20 years at this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking architect or some shit where it's like, if this don't work out, then it's like, man, I could be one of the. This is basically, I say all that to say, this is the one thing that I have that I feel like I could I can be one of the best in the world at. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm,
And I don't have anything else like that. I didn't work at anything else for 20 plus years of my life that I feel like, yo, if this doesn't become a reality, then it's like, I mean, yo, I'm one of the nicest fucking, I don't know,
true,
cup
true.
stacking champion motherfuckers in the
Oh,
world.
oh, right, yeah.
There's no other talent that I have that I'm that adept at. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how bad do I want it? This shit is like, yeah, it's I have this like nerf or nothing mentality, man, where it's like, it's funny. Yo, yeah, I have this nerf or nothing mentality where it's like, bro, if this shit don't work out, then it's like, you know, it's regular gig news, man. You know what I'm saying? I might
Yeah,
fucking start doing real estate or something, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
want this
yeah.
bad because I want it to where it's like, when my life is done, or I'm on my deathbed, or whatever the case is, and I'm an old man and I'm looking back on my life, I want it to be to where my name is etched in the history books or something. You know, for instance, I'm gonna say this last thing. Sadly, like my mother, who helped raise me and shit like that. She she just worked a regular job, man. She did accounting in the hospital, like I mentioned earlier. And it's like the record books ain't gonna have her etched in there for the hard work that she contributed to raising a son and working, multiple jobs and doing what she had to do. She'll just be another person that maintained and had and got the did the 9 to 5 thing and had to do what they do. Uh, I don't want that, man. I want to be remembered, bro. I want it to where it's like long after I'm dead and long after I'm gone, man. People are still like I still exist. People are still bringing up my name. You know what I'm saying? In multiple regions in the world and shit like that. Like I want my work to still exist, my literary works. You know what I'm saying? So I want this shit very bad, man. I ain't trained
That's
no
dope,
kids
man.
for nothing. You know
That's
what I'm
dope,
saying?
bro. So look, man, I'm rooting for you. I'm fully tapped in. Like I have a second interview with Mickey Diamond coming up.
Oh, that's
I have multiple interviews with Shotty. I hope to interview you again and
most
like somehow like watch you from afar and connect.
definitely,
See
brother.
how much you've grown. It's cool. It's an honor for me to watch, to chop up with you, bro. I never thought I would do an episode past an hour again. This
Hey,
is officially my longest episode,
yo,
bro.
come on,
So
man. Like,
I'm telling you,
yo,
bro. Yeah.
you know what's wild, man? I think I'm gonna cool off. Like you one of the last interviews, man. I might do one or two more after this, man, and I'm gonna just vanish for a little bit, man. I'm gonna go on a little
I
hiatus.
I hear you,
I'm
bro.
thank I'm thankful I got the opportunity and a chance to chop it up with you.
Thank you, man.
Do that. You know what I'm saying? I think I got one more with Hit the Clutch. Somebody else had reached out to me. I might do something during the summer, something like that. I think I set something up with them, and that's it, bro. I'm disappearing for a long ass
Yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah.
and
Even if we connect in a year or
of
like two
course,
years, I don't care, man.
but
Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying?
the door's always open for you, man. Yo, it was an honor. Shout out to Flo Rogan, man. You got one of the illest fucking names in
Thank you.
the podcast realm, son.
Thank you, bro.
His name. And yeah, like peace and love, man. I appreciate you listening to my music and gravitating towards my art. All of the people that popped up to show love, all the people that couldn't pop up to show love that listen to my music or support and or support your platform. Salute to them, man. Because there's so many other people that do podcasts and do interviews. There's so many other rappers and other producers, and y'all chose to gravitate towards us. So man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all the fucking MVPs, man. Salute to everybody still in the room.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I'm just gonna shout out some names just before we depart.
it.
88 Spence, Vicente, Josh Shades, Prod by Oddfather, Salute,
Hmm.
Lord
Hmm.
Owen, everyone, man. So thank you so much, Vega. It's been an honor, and all the best and success to you. And we'll stay connected. Have a great night, bro.
Please get the money. Peace. Salute.
Peace.